Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Collider Live here on Wednesday, October 16th, 2019. This is going to be fun. Not only do we have Josh McCouga and Mark Riley and Roxy Stryer, Cody Hall. No Alex today, but Jamie Kennedy coming in today, and I'm sure that Christian Rubicon will be waiting by the door to talk to him about Scream.
Oh, he should.
Like Jamie Kennedy's in Scream?
Yeah, man.
Who's he in Scream?
He's Randy.
He's Randy.
What?
Josh, come on.
He turned off the...
Okay.
You needed a record scratch there.
All right.
Wait.
So Jamie Kennedy from Scream is coming in today,
I've
Josh.
literally seen 8 seconds of Scream.
Oh.
Never seen the
Well,
entire movie, and I
that
never
makes
will.
sense.
What
Josh,
do you
come on.
know him mostly from?
Malibu's Most Wanted,
Yeah,
one of
that
the
makes
greatest
sense.
comedies
Right.
of all time.
Follow-up question: Is somebody joining us?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hello?
Who's joining? Oh, this is Ghost.
Just the door.
The
That's
ghost.
Roxy,
We're
your hair
waiting
looks
for Elijah.
amazing.
Thank you. Yours too, Christian.
Looks so good.
Look at that hair, Roxy!
Wow,
Would you
Roxy.
Would you guys have noticed had I not said anything?
No.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
$400 later. I'm so
Yesterday,
glad.
I played the clip of me
happy to
talking
hear
about
that.
Roxy's hair and then the little German boy that was in our wedding, and
No.
my wife lost it. She thought it was hilarious.
It was really fun.
And she was like, and you better tell Roxy her hair looks nice. And I'm like, "All right,
Thank you
Yeah,
very
everybody
much.
did. Everybody did, right?
Yes, they did.
Good. And the red light, the show's over.
yeah.
Show's
Cody,
over.
hit the red light off, jackwagon.
There it is.
Jackwagon. Is that a Pittsburgh thing? Because you say it a lot.
No, I think it was like, I don't know, I got it from a TV show.
I
or
don't know
movie,
anyone
I
else
think.
who says that.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
it. It's a very McCouga-ism. I didn't know if
Yeah.
it came from Pittsburgh. Mostly everything that you say that I don't know comes from Pittsburgh.
It
so-
means moron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or dope.
Like dopey.
Yeah,
Asshole.
like Jack.
Yeah, I think it's more dope because it's kind of playful.
Yeah.
When you say Jack, you can say Jack. Most of the times you're saying it to like your friends.
Right.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
moron's playful.
Yeah, you
Oh,
moron.
you're
It's a
such a
little more
moron.
It's a little more insulting.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
You guys
the
call
dad
me
in...
that all the time.
No, I
Yeah,
never
I've
call you
never
a
called
moron.
you a
I take
moron.
it
Never.
in a fun-loving way.
Oh, okay, you moron.
I
Okay.
always felt bad for a girl I went to high school with. Her last name was literally Moron, but it was
Moron.
But it was like an OE, so it was like Moran.
Moran. I knew someone
I
named
knew a Moran
Yeah, I did
also.
too.
Yeah,
I
but
did
everyone's
too.
like Moron. I felt so bad. She was a sweetheart of a person.
Was she pretty?
Very pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you can
mine
get away
was
with it.
really pretty too.
Moran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was smart also, so
Yes.
it
You
didn't
can get away
matter.
with it.
Yeah.
Smart and pretty.
She had like a really hot mom too, and the mom worked our common snack bar, and like guys would be like, "Mrs. Moran's here, go to the snack bar."
It's like what was that? What was it? Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom's
She's
got
got
it.
it
She's got it going on.
She's
She
all
was
I
like that?
want.
It was
and I
Rachel
waited
Hunter.
for so long.
Oh,
Stacy's mom was Rachel Hunter
that's
in
right.
that video.
That's right.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fountains of Wayne.
I watched
band.
20 minutes
man.
of El Camino thus far.
No.
I have
good.
still not seen any of it.
Yeah.
Really? What's
yeah.
wrong with you guys?
What-
Well, it's not me. I tried
First of
again
all,
last
Mark,
night. I was proud of
How much
myself.
TV do you watch, Mark?
I'm watching a lot more lately,
Yeah.
actually.
I actually
But
texted.
you're right.
Well, I texted McCouga last night. I said, hey, is there a post-credit scene? To which I got no. And then I said, well, what about? I said, well, it's pretty good so far. Nothing. I was like, all right, I'll watch the rest.
I was falling asleep so early last night. I had a very long day yesterday.
What'd you do?
Well, I was here, and then I'm basically like
There.
on
There
Tuesdays
and
and
everywhere.
Wednesdays here. I'm on a microphone for like
Yeah, it's
6.5,
exhausting.
7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like to go home and like kind of put my stuff away and hang out with my wife,
Yeah.
and and kind of separate life and whatever. And then
I get it. You have a wife.
It's true. He does. True.
You guys are all in happy relationships. Oh, I've heard.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
and
Congratulations, Cody,
we went out to
on
a
your
nice
baby.
dinner and had a
Thanks.
few drinks, and then I went to bed.
Oh, all right,
you
makes
know.
sense.
And we're
nice.
like balls deep. That was
Whoa,
fun.
hey,
all right.
hey.
We're very deep in Peaky Blinders. We have one episode left,
Yeah.
and
How is it so far?
It's fantastic.
Good.
That show's so good. If
Yeah.
you listen, I think that Sadie would actually really like Peaky
tried.
Blinders.
We tried.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys are in Succession right now, though. And we're
Yeah,
happy
but
with
even
that.
then, even like that, it's like, want to watch another episode? It's like, no. I was like, forget it.
Yeah, I'm
to
going
sleep.
there next.
Yeah,
we're
went
we're
to bed.
finishing up first season of True Detective.
It's great.
It's such a
and you've
cool-
never seen it before, right?
I'd never seen it before. She'd never seen
Yeah,
it
it's so
before,
cool.
and we are. Yeah, it's wow.
It's really
I can't.
good that you did
Stupid
it that
for-
time.
I did.
Okay.
I did
Now
that
I'm
time.
done, too.
That's the first time I've done it.
That's not the first.
But but in all fairness,
Yeah.
I moved my foot an inch and it's still on my side of the table.
No, I haven't moved my feet.
And I'm not saying you moved them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I did kick you that time
That
for the
time.
first time
All right.
ever, but I'm still on my divided side.
Congratulations, I think is in order.
Thank you.
Divided Sky, a
Yeah.
great Fish song.
I think that might be true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I know my fish.
Wonderful stuff.
Are you a
If
fish
I
head, a
could-
deadhead? Are you a jam band kid?
No, so I was for a minute. I really,
You went to
really
festivals?
do enjoy fish.
Took some
Actually,
drugs?
I like fish.
when I was the summer before my senior year in high school, I like fish.
I like this. I had sushi
I like the
yesterday.
little.
Fish. I followed around Fish for like 4 concerts between Pittsburgh and like Ohio. What the summer before my senior year in high school, me and 3 buddies from high school. I did have a long like fish hoodie with a fish patch
Oh,
on
dude,
it.
you're a
Yeah.
fish head for
Yeah,
like a
and I
So
had
you were more. So
second.
you were more fish than you were like Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. See, I was the
by far.
opposite.
I was
Yeah.
opposite too.
Yeah, me too.
I was way more into Pink Floyd until the night that I found out my high school boyfriend cheated on me when we were at a cover band Pink Floyd concert. And
So you
then
wouldn't
I
listen to him ever
No.
again.
Oh,
Bad
man.
memories.
bad memories.
Yeah.
I
That's-
finally
what a
started.
fucker.
Yeah, what a motherfucker.
What a fucker.
Totally.
To
You know,
ruin that.
Similar fact is I dated this girl in high school and she was obsessed with Pink Floyd. And when we broke up because she cheated on me, I stopped listening to Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Makes sense.
It was so weird for years, but now I can listen again.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I ever actually liked Pink Floyd. I think it was more
Pink
like
Floyd's
she
great.
likes it, I
They're
like
great.
it.
Yeah.
I think that Grateful Dead over Fish, even though I've been to Fish more. I've been to Fish concerts
So
a few times.
if you like, I had a ton of Fish bootlegs, and then my brother and I still talk about it this day. My brother was never a Fish head, but I had so many Fish bootlegs on tape, on
bootleg
cassette,
what? Oh,
like
cassettes.
of concerts, because you know, they have what they call the Mike Forrest at Fish concerts, and they're all recording this concert, right? From like you get the crowd sound. Like I used to go by and whistle, so I could hear myself whistle during certain songs, and yeah, I was that
sure
kind of a
people
dork,
love that,
right?
yeah.
And, well, there's always guys that would go by and be like, shh, 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 whatever. It was louder at the time.
Tradition, maybe,
Anyway,
right?
so I had all these Fish bootlegs, and my cleaning ladies at my parents' house, they'd come once every 2 weeks, and they spilled some cleaning fluid and didn't tell anybody, and ruined like 99% of my Fish bootlegs. They were all destroyed.
Oh no.
All destroyed. I had like 150 of them.
Wow,
Damn.
Christian was really affected by that story.
Yeah. I don't
Oh no!
I don't like when things are ruined.
Yeah, you didn't
I don't like that.
at
You
all.
know what automatically took me back to my mom threw out everything, right?
Yeah.
All my Star Wars toys, like the original ones that I had, like back in the day, threw them all out. All, like the old school Sports Illustrated ones that my dad had, like from like the '60s, like that with really great covers, gone. She threw everything
I
out.
hate that shit too. My fucking dad does that to me all.
Throw stuff out. You don't need this stuff. How do you know?
Because I don't live there anymore, and he's.
Right.
But
Yeah,
his
that's what she did,
anytime
too.
I do anything, he says, "My house, my fucking house," and it's like true, but like
Yeah.
call me and say,
Right. Come get it.
Come get this
Right.
or bring it
well,
back.
Star Wars thing could have bought a new house.
Oh, yeah.
I came home once. This is when I was in, I don't know, middle school, and I had a sticker collection, and I put them
had a
all
sticker
over
collection.
my
Yeah, I did too.
door. I collected stickers. I put them on the door, and one
Well, that's
day
not really a collection, because if you collected them, you would have not taken them, peeled them,
I
and
didn't
stuck
collect
them.
them like a collector's
It was a hobby.
item.
It was a hobby.
It was I love them, and anytime we went anywhere, you know, the 25-cent sticker thing.
What are we
you put
talking?
it-
23, 24?
What, years
how old
old?
you were?
No, I was. It's like I don't know, I was like 12 or something, and you know, it would say like on it like, "Watch out, I'm through with boys," or like whatever, and the girls with the
And then
big
you
heads.
give a blowjob in your basement.
Yeah, well, I was through with boys afterwards.
okay.
You were done
'cause,
after.
know,
Yeah,
Went
didn't work
full
out.
never
Ellen.
call me back. No, that's not true. We dated for a minute.
for
So
him.
and he's in China now. So I came home one day and all the stickers gone, door painted over.
Oh.
And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Where are my stickers?
And my dad was like, "My fucking house," and just kept walking.
That's
and
it.
I was
It's
like,
a funny,
It's a
it's a
badass
funny
dad.
bit.
Yeah,
My
that's
fucking house.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I was like-
you could see like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was, but what do you say to that? I was
Yeah.
like, well, they're gone. Like, it's not.
I remember
Yeah, I was so bummed when my Star Wars toys were
I
gone.
Yeah, it
put,
sucks. It
I
sucks.
put the glow in the dark stickers on my ceiling without telling my parents when I was like 13.
The
And
stars?
The stars, where you turn off the light and then
Yeah.
it would
Mhm.
glow
Yeah.
and it glow the whole room.
Those were dope.
We
So-
still have those for my kids.
I
Really?
didn't tell my dad for literally like 3 or 4 days. Happy birthday, Dad! And he came in and he just looked at the ceiling and goes, "What the fuck is this?" He was so upset. I came in the next I remember going to school. And I came home. My dad was on a ladder with a like a paint scraper, scraping the stickers off the
Oh,
ceiling
man.
with a paint can on the floor. And he was like, "I'm gonna be done scraping, and then you paint the ceiling." He was so upset
How old were
about
you?
these 14, 13.
Yeah, all right. I was gonna say
Yeah.
if you were like 7 or 8. That's
No,
me.
no. He was just livid about.
Yeah,
He's like,
14. It's
But
like,
why do you hate the stars so much?
because they ruin
the
Yeah.
thing.
The
Yeah,
ceiling.
that's the same thing with my dad. He was like, you put all your stickers all over
He's
the
like,
door.
"You're 13 years old. Eventually, you're gonna move out, and what? I'm gonna have people in here
Yeah.
looking at stars on the ceiling."
See, my wife did it right. We don't have the stickers on the ceiling. We have. She got one of these little fucking light up light bulbs, ladybugs, and then you just put it on, and the whole
And it
ceiling
illuminates
just
it.
goes
Yeah,
on.
that's
it's
dope.
much-
That's
much
really dope.
It's smarter.
I like that.
Because it doesn't ruin the ceiling.
That's
and all
the
that
move.
Stuff. Yeah, it's good. Anyway, so it's 10:10. We're talking about stickers and Pink Floyd, and hopefully you guys are having a wonderful, lovely morning. We are headed. Well, I am headed to Florida tomorrow. But we did the pre-tape already, and then
tomorrow.
on Friday. Who do you got on Friday, Riley?
It's us two and Sam Basher and DJ Woldridge.
I love that crew.
That's awesome.
Sam and DJ are great.
I'm very jealous.
Yeah,
well,
man, that's
Sam,
fun.
I went on Sam and DJ's podcast, and we just talked
cool.
Bad Boys 2 for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you?
I'm
Well,
okay with that.
Only
if you want to
stupid
do that.
answers.
Sam loves Bad Boys 2. DJ did not understand why we loved
Yeah,
it
makes
so
sense.
much.
But he
That's
can chime in
kinda-
because he's a clever motherfucker. That guy.
Yes.
You are Sam and you are DJ, so
Perfect.
it will be great.
This is going to be a good show then.
Yeah,
I
All
like
right.
those guys a lot.
They're,
Yeah,
they're
they're
the
cool.
absolute best. I'm also just incredibly impressed by their ability to produce. And like they after SourceFed closed, and they were just like, "Yeah, we'll just do our own thing,"
Yeah.
and they've like managed
Done
to,
their own thing.
yeah, the whole
Yeah.
time, which is I
Well, they're
always
good
think so
buddies.
badass.
They're funny. They also know how to because you played the Wildberries played them.
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Wild berries.
yeah, that was a good match. It was fun. But
I don't have the energy to yell right now.
Okay.
no, you're in what you just you
No.
went to sleep early enough.
No, I just, yeah, I did. You're right. I just don't feel like yelling into a microphone right
I
now.
don't blame you. So you get some of those
Sleep-
days.
Please sleep in the
Sometimes.
hallway, sir.
Well, Wednesdays, I go right from live to TV talk and then to Rumor Mill, and I'm just like, by the end of it,
You're ready to try to save your energy.
because I got to yell for 20 minutes during Rumor Mill.
Rumor Mill.
So.
Show's fun.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
I like
You guys
the
should
show.
check that out. If you haven't checked it out, they do play it on the replay on Collider Video, but you should also check it out when it airs live on the Collider Video.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
On Twitter.
Josh and I almost ruined our entire relationship over that
Over
show.
Rumor Mill?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah, it's happening
Is it
with
a
our
real-
relationship
real
too.
fight?
I
Yeah.
blame
I
myself.
haven't won a single one, and
Wait, no, but they're talking,
no, we got it.
they're talking about a real fight.
It wasn't
right?
actually on the show.
No.
What happened?
Oh, wait, that's-
wait, this is a real legit
This is
fight.
a real
Yes.
legit.
What happened?
oh,
Okay,
never
so-
mind then.
So, and I think I get it. I get it. Some people.
I get it too.
Well, let's hear. I want to hear your side, and then we'll
okay.
hear your side.
All right.
There's no. I think we're on the same side now. There were sides at the time.
What was the original side?
Okay.
Yeah.
let's
So
hear
here's
it.
what happened. So, and a lot of people, like today, I have Jeff Snyder, John Roca, and Clark Wolf on the show.
What
Okay.
happened to Drina?
Darina couldn't do it.
Oh.
So she's going to be on next week.
Because she didn't understand it.
No, she understood it.
Okay.
She watched it and she got it. So I texted Clark and I was like, and she's like, okay, so what's like a hot rumor right now? And I was like, well, you're creating
Roxy
a
or
rumor.
Clark?
This is Clark.
Oh.
And then I started thinking, this is the Roxy, right? And I get it. Like people are like, does it have to be a true rumor? I was like, it can be a rumor that is totally plausible.
So-
like it's not like, hey, Bradley Cooper he's quit acting and he's now running a cheese shop in New Hampshire.
Rewind for a
Right.
second. Rewind for a second. So Josh was starting the show, and it
It
was,
was week 2. You were going to be on.
There had already been one episode, and it was 20 minutes long.
I think I know some of this story. Yeah, I think you told me it. a little bit,
And Josh said to me, "Do you want to come on my show?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he said, "Great, just bring in a rumor." And I said, "Cool." The night before, honestly, I will pull up what happened.
Yeah, you can pull up the text.
Because I get that I can be a frustrating person to explain things to sometimes. I ask 4,000
I think
follow-up
Siri
questions.
knows our frustration.
But I like to do everything right. The perfect way the first
You
time.
wanna research it,
so
make sure it's-
I
You're
will
researching the
ask,
shit
you guys
out of
know
this.
That.
Yeah, I
so
do.
I'll ask 45,000 questions until I feel like I totally have a grip on
Right.
what is
I know
going on.
exactly where this is going.
So Josh texts me saying to send the rumor when I get a chance, right? Like, send us the
Sure.
rumor whenever you can. And I said, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, great. And so then he said, okay,
3 hours
let's find
later.
this.
So far, we're doing great.
Fantastic.
We were in the middle of 2 conversations at once, too. We were talking about
Let's just focus
stuff
on
with the
the-
show.
your
I know,
fight.
but that's
It's
what
taking
was
a long time to get to the
That's
fight.
what was the confusing part.
Yeah,
we were
right.
talking about 2 different things. I said, for rumor mill, can you give me an example? Any rumor from any time? Is it about anything? He said, would you like to watch to see what it's like? And I said, I just need to know the rules. Honestly, to be frank, I didn't have 20 minutes at the time. I was shooting back-to-back shows. And he said, make it a current rumor. I said, okay. He said, anything in entertainment, TVs, and movies. And I said, okay, do I need to have a take on it? He said, yep. And I said, is that take whether it's true or not? Like, I was wondering, am I bringing in a rumor saying it's
Fair
true or
question,
not?
yeah.
He said, basically, the tagline is the rumor true? It's up to you. And I said, okay, got it. Thinking that meant I'm picking a rumor and deciding if it's true or not. He said, no, it's why you think it's true. And I said, oh, okay. He said, could be fact, doesn't have to be. The better headline grabber, the better. And I said, wait, I can pick a fact instead of a rumor? And I said, Josh, this is the worst description ever. And he said, it's a rumor. Like this morning, rumor is Jonah Hill is going to be Penguin or Riddler. What if he was Kite Man? Just giving you options. Rumors you've heard and you'd like to be true or see, then fight for it.
What's your face like when you're texting this?
I'm slowly melting into my short fuse. This
So,
is traffic.
I can
This
see
is
it.
traffic.
So now I'm more confused because I don't understand.
This is traffic. This
I
is
don't
literally
I
understand.
thought you said entrapment.
So at this point, I'm more
too.
confused because I'm like, wait, is the rumor that he might be Kite Man? Like, am I making my own rumor? Is
Right.
it, or is it a guaranteed rumor? So,
And you can feel the steam coming out of his ears.
so
at
I
this
call him.
point. Right.
Oh,
I
shit.
call
Oh, that's fun.
And I said, Josh, I know that. I said, I don't understand. And he said, you know what? I'm just going to fucking pick someone else.
I don't think I said.
Yes, he
fucking-
said, I'm just going to fucking pick someone else.
I don't think I said
And
that.
I said, are you serious? And you were like, if you don't get it, I'm just gonna pick someone else. And I was
You were
like,
done.
I was like, can you just explain it to me? And he was like, you bring in a rumor, and then I decide who rumors win.
Right.
It's not that difficult. And I said, Josh, based on this description, I'm having a hard time understanding. My only questions are, it has to just be a random rumor. And he was like, Roxy, this is ridiculous. And I was like, fine. If you want to pick someone else, he's like, I do. I want to pick someone else.
Did you pick someone else?
So no. Then we hang up the
Okay.
phone, and I was sitting there, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, why are we fighting over this? Like, maybe I'm being a moron. Maybe he's not explaining it well. I don't know which part.
Maybe a mixture of both.
Maybe a mixture of both.
Yeah.
But we definitely don't need to fight about this. And I'm a very capable person, so like, I'm just gonna
Show up and
show
figure
up
it out.
and figure it out.
Right.
So I texted him being like, that was so crappy. Like,
Don't be a better friend. Like we're friends.
I was like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
friends. Like, you don't need to like make me feel like I'm a moron.
It's very true. It's very
and
true.
he
Sometimes my short
immediately-
fuse explodes and I apologize.
Oh,
He
I've
immediately-
seen it.
He immediately apologized, and then I went on and I won that day, and I felt like I had a better understanding of
Yeah.
it. But it was wild, child. Like,
It's brother sister stuff. It
100%.
really is.
But I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it because I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what just happened?
Yeah, it
Like,
happens.
going back and forth. And then obviously, you guys already make fun of me for being slow sometimes. So I'm like, oh my God, am I being the moron? So I read it out loud
Or
to like
Moran.
4 of my friends. And all 4 of my friends were like, no, that's a little confusing. And I was like, okay, I've got to follow up then. Like, whatever.
God, you know that
a
scene
whole
in,
thing.
in Austin Powers where he tries to turn around?
Yeah,
that was
he's
that
stuck.
conversation.
Yeah, totally.
It
But we
was
got
just-
there.
and then he got stuck.
But they got out.
and then they cut.
Yeah, they got out
and
and
the
figured
movie
it out.
moves forward.
Yeah, I know.
Well, anyway, Rumor Mill's on today too.
Too, right.
The other
plug.
thing that
And a
is
lot
on-
goes into it.
Yeah, the other
A lot
thing
of
is on Collider
preparation.
Live channel. By the way, Collider Live, 100,000 subscribers.
Yo, that's dope.
And we did it.
That's dope.
We did it. Collider Live, 100,000 subscribers.
How many were we at when we started
Like
doing our show?
73.
No, it was,
No,
it was,
like-
it was,
it was
in
like
the 60s.
30 or something.
68.
So this channel used to be the old Schmoes Plus channel,
Right.
and then we sold it over to Fernandez. And then it was the podcast channel, and that built up to in their like 60s. And I actually think we were at 67 or so,
Yeah, I
68.
thought it was like 68.
67, 68 when we took over as Collider Live. So almost 30,000, 32,000 that we've
I don't.
taken.
I don't want
Way to go, Internet.
I don't want to say it was the Halloween Horror Nights video, but let's be
Might as well.
Let's
Well,
be
the Halloween
honest.
Horror Nights
That
video
was
is up,
great.
and once again, props to Frank for just crushing it with that video. He did such a good job, and he directed it very well too.
Yeah.
Everything. So make sure you check that out. There's only like 16,000 people that have watched, and that's a crime. It is one of the best videos that we've ever done on and both channels.
I can't wait to show my mother.
Yeah.
If you're
She
watching
loves
or
she
listening
loves him screaming.
Yeah.
at home, if you're watching, if you're listening at home, tag the Ellen Show and just be like,
Yes.
hey. Because I think that she would really enjoy this. I'm not asking to get on the show, but I'm thinking like if Ellen gets a retweet because she used to send her people in there,
Yeah.
and clearly like there is a group of people that are extremely scared, and we welcome the fact that we're like, all right, we'll put it on camera, it'll be funny. Someone like Eric Striffler, who Roxy's very scared of because he lives in a van.
That's the van guy?
That's the van guy.
I'm not scared of him. I don't understand him. I have
Yeah.
follow-up questions.
He texted me
What
this
kind of
morning.
rumor is it?
Yeah.
Where does the van
Follow-up
live?
questions.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I also had 900 questions for the van situation when I rode with him in a car for 2 hours in New York.
Never have I gotten more hate on this show than for that interview.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it
Wasn't here for
sort
that.
of makes sense.
People were livid.
So
Get
during
over
Com-
it. He lives in a van. Move on.
During Comic-Con, I think it
couldn't.
was, right?
I think it was like a live schmodown. You're right. I think it was Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yeah.
No.
I think
Yeah,
it
it
was. It was Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Because
I was
you
at
were-
Comic-Con.
Because she
Yeah,
was
but
at
you left late.
Comic-Con.
You left the next day or that night.
Okay.
Yeah, I left on Wednesday.
Yeah. Striffler texted me and said, this is my favorite video on the internet. So, I mean, I think people are going to... Amanda was like, it's just you're so jumpy. I don't think you're actually scared. And she's like, maybe you are scared. She kept watching it, and then she kept watching it back and be like, yeah, I don't know. This is something I've never seen before. I was like, that's because we don't go to these things. We don't watch scary movies. We don't go to haunted houses.
She's
we
never
are...
seen that side of you.
No. And Frank sent me a ringtone that I don't know how to share on Twitter or Instagram, but I want it like it was an MP3 file of like,
you.
hey, if you want to download this Josh screaming ringtone, it's 5 seconds.
Oh, that's amazing.
But
That's
also,
amazing.
if anybody out there's a toy maker, I want to make the Josh McCouga Screams doll and try and sell that as merchandise.
You should talk to Ben.
Oh,
Oh yeah, because the toys.
Yeah, that's what he does.
True.
old Bacchiotomy Bateman.
That's true.
Bacchiotomy.
Bacchiotomy. Well, let's actually, you know what? Well, let's talk for 5 more minutes. We need to take 2 breaks today, and then we'll go to news, and then I guess we'll do an hour when we get back.
I've got one.
What?
Well, we have to
Do
go
you
to
need
break
things
before
or-
Jamie Kennedy comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming at 11:30, right?
He's coming at
11:30.
11:30.
So 2 break. Oh, I got you.
yeah.
I got you.
Kenny from
Speaking
Malibu's Most
of
Wanted.
speaking of getting retweeted by Ellen, this has nothing to do with that. But I did get my tweet liked by both Taika Waititi and
Nice.
Thor.
no Jojo Rabbit's official account.
Oh, did you like it?
So
I
I
loved
went and
it.
saw Jojo Rabbit
Yeah.
last night, and
Is it embargo's up? And we didn't go
Yeah,
down
yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
it was
well.
it was a anytime it's a festival movie, there's no
yeah.
embargo
I knew
on
that.
it because they can't.
So you loved it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes, I was incredibly nervous, Christian, because I was watching it and I was like, uh-oh, this is a movie for non-Jews.
Yeah.
Because, oh no.
Right,
Like, I was all of a sudden like,
Uncomfortable.
And then we took off so fast and I was like, holy crap, it's definitely without a doubt one of the best movies of the year.
that's what everybody's saying.
It's
I can't wait
it's
to see it.
so good. I was laughing way harder than anybody else in the theater. I don't know whether that is because I'm Jewish, so it makes it more appropriate for me to laugh that hard. But there was stuff that I was literally laughing so hard. Somebody turned around in front of me and just started looking at me like,
'Cause they were
stop.
tired.
But I couldn't help it. I was laughing so
Did they
hard.
ask you if it was a rumor or not?
No, it was fact.
They Rebecca
which you
M.
can
Ford
bring
it
in
to you.
fact if you
can.
need to.
Okay, that's fair.
And also I cried because it
Yeah.
was there's what he does and
Yeah.
how he twists and turns and the emotions that you're feeling based off just brilliant. The performances are out of this
I'm
world.
pumped to see it.
His
God, I
mind
can't
works
wait.
differently than anybody.
He's one of the
So
funniest
different.
individuals that I've ever met in
So
my life.
this is a book though? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I think that it said
Is it?
based on the
Novel
is
or
Alex
short story?
in here right
No.
now? One of you,
Alex is
maybe
not
somebody
here.
who has a computer can look that up. I think that it said based on. Thank you, Cody. Based on it said like based on Jojo Rabbit, which I
Oh, okay.
assumed.
Could be short stories, could be anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, but they liked your tweet. But here's something I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is more impressive? The fact that you got your tweet liked by both Taika Waititi and who else?
And the Jojo Rabbit account,
And the Jojo Rabbit account.
but it's an official account. So.
Or the fan that tweeted us that they were watching Yanni and then Yanni liked his tweet.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
did that happen?
That happened.
That's amazing.
I think Yanni might take
I
it.
mean,
I didn't know
listen,
Yanni was on Twitter.
If Yanni,
sure is.
if
I
Yanni
told- remember
ever
I told
wants
her.
to come on this show or any shows, really,
yeah.
Yanni is always welcome.
How many? Do you remember
Did I
how
make
many
it up,
Twitter
Riley?
followers Yanni
It's
had when we
like
checked?
100,000.
I wonder how many.
100.
It's based on
25?
Caging Skies by Christine Lenunes.
So it is
I'm
based
gonna
on
look up the
a
Yanni
novel.
Looks that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me,
Oh my God, I cannot wait for you guys to see this
I'm looking
movie.
forward to it.
I
Yeah,
was
New Zealand
shook.
Belgian novelist. Yeah,
I was
so,
shook. You know when a movie finishes and you just kind of sit there,
Yeah, and you're thinking about it.
like,
Good.
wow,
Yeah,
what
that's all.
was that?
Is
That's
it
all I hear
released
about.
this week? And
I do not think so because I
No.
know there's another press screening tomorrow.
oh,
Yeah, so
God,
well, it's possible. Cody, can you bring up the weekend releases? Because I'm curious what comes out. I know that not World War Z. What's the zombie? Zombieland 2,
yeah, that's this
which I
weekend.
missed.
That's
And
this week.
That was
Melissa-
last
Jojo
week.
Jojo Rabbit
Rabbits.
does come out. Yeah.
In
Okay.
5 theaters.
That's it.
Yeah.
I guess next week would be more like nationwide if it does well.
I don't know. Unless
I don't know what
I
is
think it probably
its
comes
release
down.
schedule. What in 5 theaters?
maybe they're trying to get it maybe it comes out in January. Maybe they're
doesn't
trying to
even
get
say
an Oscar
limited.
run.
Possibly. And I think of the movies I've seen so far this year, I'm not saying this was my favorite, but this is the one I think is most deserving of an Oscar.
Oh.
Better than Peanut Butter Falcon.
I think I actually prefer Peanut Butter Falcon, I believe, for what it did like to my core.
Yeah.
But I think that this movie is an Oscar contender
and
for
this
the
little
Best
kid
Picture.
is awesome.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
You think
and,
Taika Waititi gets
and his
nominated for an
female
Oscar?
counterpart is incredible.
Yeah,
as
does
well.
Taika get nominated for director, writing, or
Well, I definitely
acting?
think adapted screenplay if it is
Yeah.
an adapted
Right,
for
right.
sure. Absolutely. The direction is what makes this movie work.
Really?
So I mean, because if it's poorly directed, like you're effed.
Right.
The topic is so sensitive that
Right.
like he had to dip, dodge, duck, like maneuver everything. Also,
ballsy, man.
It took me like 30 minutes to realize that he's in it.
Oh, you didn't realize it was him?
I mean, he looks so not like him that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
He's really talented. Man.
Super.
He's crazy good.
We had him in here. I think it was like 2 years ago for Ladies' Night.
Yeah,
And
around Ragnarok time.
It was.
yeah.
It was.
Wow, I can't believe you had him.
He was.
ScarJo's also incredible.
Oh, that's right. She's in it. I forgot.
I'm telling you,
So good.
I was at that Nina Dobrev birthday party. Nobody was even talking to him, and I went up to him. I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Hello," and we hung out. We had a Shake Shack burger, and we hung out for like 10 minutes.
He's awesome. He's really funny, dude.
Coolest dude.
Yeah.
He was at the Jackson Estate Halloween party with me this past year. Also,
Michael Jackson?
Well, I was on purpose not saying Michael Jackson. It's the Jackson Estate Halloween party.
Neverland Ranch. Is it Neverland?
No, not at Neverland. It's the one in Encino, like their estate.
Cody's trying to tell us something, everyone.
Yeah.
There is an active Twitter account that just keeps tweeting at me about its new theories about Michael Jackson. I was like, guys, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
It's over. He's a bad dude.
Well, it's 10:26, and we're going to take a break. And when we get back from said break, we will get into the news. There's some news that's going down, some trailers that broke. But then we just found out that Tony Gilroy, who is kind of the ghost director of Rogue One, he's coming on board to write the Cassian Andor series. So we'll talk about that a little later.
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, if you've been watching us every week, we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti
John
on.
Roca.
We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Riley here. Let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Riley Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video on the YouTube as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Well, hello there. I'm Ken Knapsack, one of the hosts of Collider Jedi Council, and I'd like to invite you to listen to our show, watch our show. It's on every Thursday on the Collider video channel, and it's also available in podcast form if you'd like to listen to our sweet voices on Collider Jedi Council, me, Christian Harloff, and a bevy of guests, I say, talk Star Wars. We celebrate Star Wars. We dig into the Star Wars news. We speculate everything about Star Wars, including your questions. So join us on Collider Jedi Council.
Oh, the fucking dog got
You're
the
gonna
bacon.
have a
God
great
damn.
time.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself.
I'm not really known
where
for
we
my
pick
smarts.
apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Okay.
Hey guys, Riley here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. New episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well every Saturday and Sunday.
And I'm gonna beat that ass.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars. It's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Apple Podcasts, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out. And then after Episode 9, you got TV shows. So we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hi, I'm Amy Dallin, one of the hosts of Collider Heroes, and starting right now, you can catch our show Tuesday nights with a new Collider Heroes and a longer Collider Heroes podcast, where Coy and I are gonna talk your ears off. You already know that's coming. So make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe, and find us on the Collider Heroes podcast feed for all of that sweaty goodness.
The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to Collider Live. Wednesday, October 16th here, and Roxy is here.
That's
Josh
true.
is here.
Hi.
Cody is here.
Hi.
Riley is here. I kicked you that time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's news time, and we're going to talk about some news and things
Hey,
that happen.
before we get into
yes,
it, I want to
yes,
ask you
yes.
guys at the thing, because I sent out a tweet last night and some people had some very interesting responses.
Yep.
I said, top 3 shows that people smoke cigarettes in is Peaky Blinders, The Deuce, and Mad Men. Can you guys think of any other television shows?
Entourage.
Did they smoke a lot of
A
cigarettes?
lot
in
of
that?
weed and sometimes cigs.
Yeah.
Not the amount of like Mad Men and
Kojak.
Did a lot of cigarettes.
I
in
mean,
that?
it's a limited series, at least.
True
True Detective.
On
He's
Becoming a
smoking
God
all
in
the time.
Central Florida.
a lot of cigarettes in that.
She's ripping
Breaking
for
Bad.
cigarettes.
Breaking Bad. Jesse did rip a lot of butts.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Stranger Things. Yeah.
You know what's
yeah.
interesting? The term ripping butts.
Ripping butts. I know you could definitely take. Roka would take that differently.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. And if you're in prison, for sure, it's different.
Totally.
Yeah.
The Canadians say
kinda where I was going with
Canadians
the
say smoking darts, which I think is very funny.
And I'm gonna beat that ass.
Yeah.
He wants that ass. Listen,
He wants to
the
rip
other thing I
that
wanted
butt.
to talk about before we get into news is, Cody, did you guys get a chance? Because I know Alex was browsing around. Are there any new songs, whether it's by Thrawn or other new composer Gallegos? I believe his
He
name is?
could not find any yesterday.
Couldn't find any yesterday. I don't know if there's any new songs, but
I miss Alex.
Listen, if you
Yeah.
have a song, just tag us in a tweet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
upload it and be like, hope
Usually-
they find it.
Yeah.
Usually that's how I find it.
Sometimes,
But
yeah. I mean, the last couple of them that we'd had to look for them. I
Yeah.
found them. So,
Hey, quit doing that and just tag us. It's
yeah.
real easy.
all right.
And
well,
didn't we basically wrote them a song the other day.
We did.
What was it?
Oh, I don't remember what it was. We did sing something.
Yeah.
And it was yesterday. It was about puberty.
That was one.
That was one, but that's
But
not
there
the
was
one I'm
not,
thinking
I know
of.
you're thinking about the other one that we sang the other day. I know that was a good dance you did too. I like that dance. All right, let's move into the news.
right.
There's some movie news. There's a ton of movie news.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some.
And some breaking, maybe about an hour ago,
what was it?
this morning at least, Jada Pinkett Smith is returning as Niobe in Matrix 4.
Interesting. Where are they going with this thing?
Was
And-
Jada
and-
I
well,
have an idea
Yeah.
of where they might be going. But then I'm not the
Calabasas.
storyteller. I just
Was
think
she in the first 3?
She was in the second
and
third.
Third, yeah.
Oh, was she good?
She was
She's
great.
fine. Yeah.
I liked her, really.
Yeah, she was fine.
I,
I
thought she
liked
was
her in the
good.
second one, but the third one it was
She's no
was-
Trinity.
What's her character?
Yeah. Niobe.
Yeah, she's well, it's Morpheus. It's Morpheus related, but you don't know who Morpheus is, so you should see the
Yeah,
first
I do. It's
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I remembered that I knew who it was, but I didn't know.
Now, are we still gonna? We're on Matrix, so I'm sure you have it in the stories anyway. Neil Patrick Harris. Also?
Yeah, I was going into that
Yeah,
right
I
after.
figured. So
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris also cast
Yep.
in Matrix
For the first time?
for the first time. So Neil Patrick Harris is going to
And
be in this.
PH, baby.
Yeah, man. So this isn't.
Now I'm gonna watch.
It's an interesting
I'm so
casting
curious
move.
what's happening,
This
and they're really
cast is
moving
great.
fast on this thing too. So I like it. I
Yeah.
like the cast thus
It's a
far.
musical.
No, it's not a musical.
Fucking A, Roxy.
No,
Stop it.
Well, it's Neil Patrick Harris.
it's not a musical.
Do you want to know my least favorite performance of his?
Don't say
Gone
Harold
Girl.
Kumar. Oh, okay.
What? Gone
No,
Girl?
he was in it for like 8 seconds.
Not really.
Well,
He
you're
was
right,
in
you're
it for
right.
a
I'm
minute.
thinking of
I
it
just
wrong.
like
In it
him
for a minute.
I like it a lot more when he's singing or making me laugh.
Oh.
Because I love Neil Patrick Harris.
You just didn't like his character in that movie.
Yeah.
I liked it. in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nah.
I loved. Did you see Harold and Kumar? Any of the Harold Kumar movies with him?
Always and duh.
Because the Christmas ones. It was
Roxy's a stoner, of course.
Yeah,
she's seen
Harold and
Kumar.
Kumar was my jam. They
Okay.
go to White Castle. Me too.
Who created Harold and Kumar?
No idea.
The same creators, our friends who created or brought back Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden and John.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
The front door shut. Yeah.
Why,
But
why do I say that?
I don't know. Let's go to the let's
You
Matrix.
think he's
though.
like a new Mr. Anderson? Like a new...
Possible.
Being kept under wraps is what
I
Variety's
hope
article
so because I
says.
don't think we need Hugo Weaving back as much as I love him.
You think big role or small role?
Big.
Huge.
Yeah.
A lot of people went right to Neil Patrick Harris as another agent.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what he was
Because
asking.
I was-
yeah,
okay,
And
got it.
I think that's probably a good move. Like I said, I loved Hugo Weaving, and Agent Smith has become iconic in film. But I got bored once we started seeing so many of him in 2 and 3. It was too much. And it was like it was
mystery.
Good guy or bad guy?
Bad guy. And he
You
goes,
think Neil Patrick Harris is going to be a bad guy?
Yes.
Yeah, and he goes off the grid. The Agent Smith does anyway. I like the fact that I liked it so much better when Agent Smith was part of the system, like when he wasn't off grid and going rogue. There was just a silly storyline.
Did you not like that big scene
Second and
though,
third.
where it was like all of them, and then Neo took them all out? It
It's-
was that Super Bowl spot. During,
Yeah.
Cody remembers it was Tampa Bay playing in the Super Bowl. that year.
2003.
Yeah, it was. I told you the second one. I remember seeing it, and people were bummed about it. And I remember leaving that movie going, no, this could be a great lead up to the third.
Right.
And just the third one was such a disappointment that it made the second one worse.
I mean, here's the thing: is Neil Patrick Harris obviously Roxy prefers the musical, the laughter, the magician, all that kind of stuff. What was his Adult Swim show called? Like the Magnificent Mr. Bonus.
Neil Patrick Harris?
No.
Like Majestic, Mr. Majestic's Magic Magician.
I know
don't
exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know the
I know,
name.
right?
So
it was like a web series, and went to Adult Swim.
Yeah,
anyway.
wasn't that Whedon series? It was Joss Whedon series.
No.
But so I
a
think you might be
minute.
right. But like him, like as a smart ass agent, because Hugo Weaving was so serious. There was like not one part of him that was like somewhat light.
He felt like a robot.
Harris, yes. I think Neil Patrick Harris would have a very tough time being a robot. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Dr. Horrible's sing along.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Mr. Anderson. Anyway,
whose
so
voice is that? That was cool.
Mr. Smith. Agent Smith. Mr. Purpose. Mr. Anderson.
I mean,
Purpose.
at that point, Hugo Weaving was in the two biggest franchises on the effing planet.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings and Matrix. He was
Yep.
in both.
Which would you rather be in?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Me
I think
too.
so too. Yeah, I mean, although being part of that first Matrix is something pretty special.
And what would have been kind of cool is there's so many moments where like you're up on strings and doing like weird, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like maybe Matrix at that point, but once you got to 2 and 3, I was like,
Yeah,
there's
okay.
so much fighting.
So I've seen that shit in posters and stuff.
Yeah.
Serious question. Like, are they puppets?
No.
Yes, they're puppets. So it's
No, I'm picturing like.
you know the Melissa McCarthy movie.
The one with the
Happy
cop.
Land Murder.
Happy
Land
Time
Murder.
Murder. So
I liked that
basically-
movie more than other people.
I did too. I laughed at some of it.
And I think Christian would probably agree with me and Mark knows. So basically, what the Matrix is about.
I'm done with
is-
you already.
No.
I know what part you're talking about. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what the Matrix is.
I know what you're doing
What?
because you do this thing with your face.
What do I do with my face?
What you're doing right now.
Laughing?
What?
So let me
Roxy.
tell you guys what I
Your
gathered.
tell.
Here again. Okay, here's what I gathered. Here's what I
The
gathered.
second he said puppets, I was.
The only thing I know is Keanu Reeves.
Who's
And
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves.
His son,
Keanu Reeves.
And he is
Gosh, I love
on
movies.
he does.
on the strings
Pogo sticks.
Okay.
in the red pill and the blue pill. So like what I'm kind of thinking is there's like a puppet master.
I see where you're going with that. The answer to that is kind of, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of.
You
but
have
not
to
really.
see it.
Neo, and his name is Neo.
That's wow.
Yes.
You nailed
Or Mr. Anderson.
it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't-
Mr. Anderson.
Wow, is this like a Fight Club situation?
I don't want to tell you.
Oh.
You need to watch it.
Well, here's the
You need
thing.
to
When
watch this
Edward
movie.
Norton
Why
does
can they
pop
bend
up,
so far
I
backwards?
mean, Roxy, you gotta watch the film.
Come on.
I mean,
Roxy.
come on. Is
What's
it a
the
movie?
deal with bending people?
What's the deal with bending? Are they moving? Are they puppets? I mean, figure it out.
He's the one. He's not the one. We're not sure. They fight kung fu.
I mean, come on. And why are they eating these things they think is eggs? It's mush.
It's mush. It's
Just
just
mush.
a mushy mush. It's like the oatmeal in a buffet in a Holiday Inn. It's just mush.
Wait, how
Mushy
much of
mush.
that's real? Because it's a will they won't they story.
Well, they got these holes in each other's bodies. They keep putting things in.
Like a
That you just went. You know who you
vagina?
turn into?
Yeah.
You went away from Seinfeld. And you turned into the narrator of the Frosty special. You know, it's like and Frosty was the best belly flopper in the world.
Which I think is Robert Loggia.
No,
but I'm
no,
not sure.
no, not
Robert
Loggia. Or
Loggia.
as Brad Gilmore would say, Robert Loggia.
On the afternoons, Ken and I cast Robert Loggia in every fake movie we
gotta
pitch.
be.
Every single time.
So that one of my favorite Robert Loggia performances that nobody has seen is the 1992 boxing classic Gladiator with Cuba Gooding Jr.
It's a great performance.
You and I have watched it, but and my favorite.
Is it a great performance?
It's a great one, but he's in the audience and he's got like this stooge that follows him around. He goes, "Leo, give me a crunch." You remember? He does it so many. He's great in that movie.
I convinced like upwards of 10 to 15 people that Robert Loggia was the grandfather in Problem Child. They're like, that's not Robert Loggia. Like, it's definitely Robert Loggia.
No,
and then they had to
definitely
look it up. Like, I kept tricking people with that one.
I know you know. Were you a Sopranos guy?
No.
No. So you know his name.
Feach Lamont.
Feach Lamont. You have been too easy for it.
Are you a
I wouldn't have
Sopranos?
gotten that, but now I know who
You know who
Robert
he is.
Loggia is.
See, there you go.
I hated
So
the
he-
Feach storyline. What happened
he's
to him?
the narrator of Frosty the Snowman?
No.
But he could sound
Because
like
Robert Loggia
No, it was like,
talks a lot like Al Pacino, but a little.
I think it's like
Frosty
Harry
the
Young.
Snowman was
yeah.
in like the 40s or something.
No,
right?
like the 50s. Cody, can you
50s.
check
I
up?
did watch it though, as a.
Of course you did, because he was the best snowman in the world.
going to be coming out in a couple months.
He was
you
the
know?
best
No.
belly flopper in the world.
I watched it finally a year ago.
Really?
Everybody
That's
was
the one.
talking
The
about
original
this shit.
cartoon?
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Jewish. We didn't watch this
Let's-
shit growing up.
Jimmy Durante, that's who it was. It was Jimmy Durante.
Jimmy Durante.
It was Jimmy Durante.
That's a good guy.
1969. So
Yeah.
I was off by.
Right, 20 years. 27 years.
Yep.
Do you know the Robert Loggia casting urban legend? I mean, Stallone has never said it, but you know who he was supposed to play?
Who?
Mickey.
Was he really?
It was between Robert Loggia and
Would've been
Burgess
great.
Meredith.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think it's like a story I've been told multiple times that it was between Robert Loggia and Burgess Meredith, and,
No,
and
I love
Stallone
these-
thought Burgess or that Loggia was too young. For it.
I love
sense.
Loggia, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so good. Did you know that that Mickey was in Clash of the Titans? The
Burgess
old school?
Meredith?
Yeah, Burgess
Yeah.
Meredith was
Oh,
in
yeah.
Clash of the Titans in 1980.
I feel like my dad, after we saw Rocky, my dad made me go back and watch certain Burgess Meredith things. Like, obviously, we went back and watched the Batman series, which was always on TV for some reason growing up. Like, it was always on. I loved it. And then he made me watch that original Clash of the Titans because we went to see it. I remember, like, when the new one came out, my dad's like, this is bullshit. You got to watch the one with Burgess Meredith.
Was he the father of?
He gives no.
Who was it?
He gives him like the shield or something. He's a regular human, but he gives Perseus like the something.
He's on an
Yeah.
island.
Yeah. I remember because
It's a
I remember
small
saying
role,
it's
it's not
Mickey.
huge.
No, but I remember saying it's Mick.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, I like that tangent. All right, what's next?
All right, let's. We saw the Bombshell trailer. It
We
came
did.
out yesterday. We watched it. I personally loved it. You saw it. You saw it. What'd you think?
All right, as probably the only person in the room that watched The Loudest Voice, the Showtime show,
Right.
about this
We were talking
exact same
about
thing. Okay.
Roger Ailes.
The Roger Ailes
with-
story.
Who played Ailes in that?
Russell Crowe.
That's right. And I heard it was amazing.
It was fantastic. I mean, it wasn't up for the Emmys this year, but he'll
Okay.
definitely get nominated
Yeah,
next
that's
year.
right. I
And
heard great things about that one.
I would think that Sienna Miller would get nominated too, because Sienna Miller plays his wife.
I see.
And then you had what's her name? The girl from Peaky Blinders and The Mummy. Son of a bee sting. You know, she.
Pittsburgh?
No.
Rachel Weisz?
No. From The Mummy with Tom Cruise. She played.
Oh, Sophia Boutella?
No. The other girl.
Don't remember who's in it.
I can't
I
believe I'm not
literally have no
remembering
idea what
her
you're talking about.
She played the girl that basically Margot Robbie's playing.
Okay.
Basically, it's kind of like it's not fictional, but it's real person.
Right.
And then Gretchen Carlson is played by Naomi Watts in the movie.
Shit, man. I'm gonna
In
watch
the
that
TV
series.
show.
In the TV show.
How
sorry.
many episodes?
9, I think, 8 or 9. I swear to God, it's the amount of episodes. But here, the thing that I took away most from this trailer, as versus The Loudest Voice, is that Russell Crowe is honestly hideous, but he's not that bad. They made John Lithgow look effing hideous.
Yeah.
Like, he is hideous.
You know who he looks like in this? He looks like Dan Aykroyd in Nothing But Trouble.
Yes,
right.
100%.
Oh,
Do you-
yeah.
do you
It's
remember?
like
I think he
serious
looks-
fat makeup. It
But
is
I think
serious.
he looks like him.
I think so too.
But also too is like, if you remember in The Crown, which a show you hated, but in season 2 of The Crown, you know, Lithgow plays Winston Churchill.
Yes.
And I think the fat makeup they do on him actually kind of makes him charming as Winston Churchill. The fat makeup
Oh, he's
they do
supposed
is
to look disgusting.
and they make him
Yeah,
look
yeah,
absolutely
I think
disgusting.
he looks
He looks real.
appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're just saying that there's the makeup that's put on him. You're supposed to feel a certain way, and I think that they nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
For sure. Can you actually bring up Dan Aykroyd, Nothing But Trouble?
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Chevy Chase, Demi Moore.
I wouldn't say it was great.
Are you kidding me?
Really?
Oh, but it hit me at that
bad.
point. It is bad.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Look, there he is.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies
Roger Ailes.
that hit me at the right time as a kid when you see it and you're like, they're all my favorite actors.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate, right, Rocky?
Totally.
He looks like a troll.
He looks like an aging Gerard Depardieu.
Is that a human?
Yes.
In the movie?
It's a human.
He has.
Yeah,
some-
he's a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't he do something? Yeah.
He's a judge. He's a creepy judge.
Have
Anyway.
you ever seen Nothing But Trouble?
No, I
That's
guess
good,
not.
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was like of those movies at that time as far as things. It's like a 6.
What do you think the rating is on Rotten Tomatoes?
48%.
For Nothing But Trouble?
Yeah, I'm going to say 17%.
Wow.
I'm going to go, 15%. I'm around. Yeah.
So you're not defending it on its merit as being a good
No, I'm
movie. You're just
defending on
going
it.
what
It
you
hit me
liked
at
it.
that- yeah.
Holy shit, were we off?
What is it?
5.
5%? Even better.
5%.
Oh, what was the year I was born?
Unbelievable. 5%. That's great.
Yeah.
It's no Great
46.
Outdoors. Ba-ba-ba-boom.
Great Outdoors is the one where, and it's also where the bear gets the ass shot with the
Yes,
thing.
it's
Yeah,
good.
it's
Big bear
hysterical.
We were talking about the raccoons last week. I just made a ba-ba-ba-boom, and he just looked at me and went, yeah!
It's one of the greatest soundtracks.
You know what I did? I got something in
Scores, whatever,
in
of a comedy.
Makuga's head that's finally been out, so I'm going to put it back in. Tonight is you and I, bro.
I could not be more excited about this movie.
About twins?
Bombshell.
Oh.
Bombshell.
I'm
Back
really
to-
excited about it.
It looks pretty good.
It looks fantastic.
The 3 of them are 3 of the best working actresses today. So
Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, and Margot Robbie.
How is she disappearing
That-
and looking like
Charlize
Maggie
Theron.
Kelly? Yeah.
I mean, they
Like,
all are
it
disappearing.
doesn't look
I didn't
like
even know
there's any.
she was in the
In the
trailer. You
trailer,
guys said it. I was like,
so
where is she?
remember when they initially released something? It was maybe a month and a half ago with the elevator, and all we get is that one elevator scene of the 3 of them, and that uncomfortable elevator ride. And I literally didn't know it was her. You cannot tell it's Charlize. You just cannot.
Right.
And so I was like, where was Charlize in that? And then I looked it up, and that was her, and I was floored. In this, because I know it's her, I'm like trying to look for it. Can't see it.
Can you bring up? Sorry, Cody. Can you bring up a picture of Charlize Theron in this movie?
I just
She
wonder.
is the number 1 best working actress today.
Who, Margot Robbie?
No, Charlize
Yeah,
Theron.
I think you're probably right.
I think she is the number one.
Under Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What she pulled off.
Wait, where is she? Wow.
That's her.
That's great.
Yeah.
Dude.
Totally.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even
It
notice
does-
it was
it
her.
does not
dumbed down her
because it
lips.
looks way more. Because her nose. The
You
makeup
got
on her
it.
nose is great.
It's her cheeks. It's her nose.
Yeah.
You have
eyes
to.
or everything.
It's really good.
You
It's
have to
so
give the
good.
makeup department in that
Yeah,
like,
man.
kudos for
Shit.
days.
Nicole
It's-
Kidman too, but
Yeah.
But that's different. I mean, that's you basically gave her the same. I wonder, is there any like CGI with that, or is that all makeup?
no, it's
all
prosthetic and makeup.
Wow.
Yeah, it's truly insane. But I think that this story, for example, Loudest Voice, I don't even think it's been told loudly enough because I don't think many people watched the show.
Yeah.
I just cannot wait. This looks like
what
it's going to
everybody
be.
said to me about Loudest Voice, Jeff Snyder included, and I think I know Thad felt the same way, but he actually watched it, was people couldn't get past the Russell Crowe fat suit at
Oh, it
first.
looks bad?
And then as you get on, you forget that it's Russell Crowe. Because it's bad. Like, it's not great at first if you're like, holy shit, that's Russell Crowe. But then as the show went on, I
Like
think you
Dagnino.
believed that he was Robert Ailes.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I don't know if you were on the show when I told the story with Dagnino. We were watching the boxing match. We were at this party, and in the crowd, they show people, and this. I've never seen Dagnino do this, but this whole party with that, and I forget what fight it is, but they show Russell Crowe, and then it gets silent for a second, and Dagnino goes, "Look, it's Russell Crowe," and then he just kind of goes. It's like, all right.
Why did he do that?
He just got excited to see Russell Crowe.
Wow, I do not get excited to see Russell Crowe.
No. He was like, "Look, it's Russell Crowe." That was my favorite.
So the thing with The Loudest Voice is it's the entire story is from the point of view of Roger Ailes, right? It's like it is the Roger Ailes story. And it's like, about the creation of Fox News. There is Rupert Murdoch stuff in there, but it's really just the story of Roger
Was it
Ailes.
FX?
No, it's Showtime.
Oh.
Now, I don't know because, again, it was 8 episodes. So you get this full story. I don't know what you crunch into this movie to make it better than the show. But I think this is mostly told from the women's point of view as opposed to the Roger Ailes point of
Well,
view.
we kind of see that in the Margot Robbie scene in there when she's going in.
Which you don't get a lot of in Loudest Voice. Like, you get the Gretchen Carlson thing and her lawsuit. You get like one mention of Megyn Kelly in the series. Like, there's not a lot of Megyn Kelly at all. It's more about like Roger Ailes. It's just Roger Ailes.
There's just more.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm so curious how many more of these they're going to do.
About Roger Ailes or about like Weinstein and stuff?
Weinstein, like the Les Moonves situation. I mean, just in general, how many more stories are we going to see, and how quickly are they going to pop up?
Well, the business side of this thing too is probably they're going to want to see who sees this one, because it is a business also, and they want to make sure that people are wanting to see. But it's not only just the box office, right? If it has award stuff attached to it, then that's another reason why. You look like Spotlight. Spotlight didn't crush at the box office, but I mean, it won awards. So if these movies start making money or get awards or nominations, then you'll probably see more of them. If not, then you'll probably see less of them.
Okay. I mean, for me, it's like you have a definitive end in the Roger Ailes story, right? Like, he commits suicide. There are all these lawsuits, this whole thing. There's there's all kinds of documents. The really cool thing in the series was the secretary, I think her name is Judy. The secretary is like well known for documenting everything that Roger Ailes did. And then when she saw this whole storm coming, she destroyed all of her journals or took them with them and left Fox News with them, because they had they still don't know where this woman is. Like, she went off the grid.
Really?
She went off the grid, and she like apparently just disappeared, just straight up disappeared. Nobody knows where she is.
I need to see this
Wow.
show.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
Oh, it's fantastic. Wow.
Bombshell trailer looks good, and director, by the way, not Adam McKay. We thought it was
Jay Roach.
Jay Roach, who, and I believe Jay Roach. You mentioned Austin Powers before. He's done a lot of comedies, didn't he? I thought he
Meet
did.
the Parents.
Is that what it was? I thought it was.
We have a machine that will tell us the answer.
Thank you.
The internet.
Yeah, Jay Roach. What did he direct? Right.
Tough last
There's a
name.
couple. You're right.
Austin
Powers.
Powers.
We're both right.
Meet the Parent. Yeah.
both
Trumbo's a good movie.
Oh, so
Trumbo's
he
a good
did.
movie.
So he did move off of. Riley, move your head a little bit. He did move. It was Meet the Fockers. Then the Dinner for Schmucks.
What
which
was
terrible.
Dinner for Schmucks?
Terrible.
I like that.
I
like Dinner
Paul
for
Rudd,
Schmucks.
Michael Scott,
Did not like
Steve
that.
Carell.
Yeah, didn't like that movie. The Campaign. Which one was The Campaign?
Oh, look, he
Oh,
did.
I remember that too. I remember that was the Will Ferrell one where he ran for office.
Yes.
And then he
With
jumped
Zach
to
Galifianakis.
and then his last two have been serious. Trumbo and then Bombshell.
His first movie was Zoobilee Zoo.
Close. Zoo Radio.
Zoo Radio.
Blown Away. Blown Away. Which one is that?
Is Zoo Radio? No, I'm thinking like Pirate Radio.
You're thinking of Pirate Radio.
That's the one with. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on here.
All
What
right.
else we got?
Well, speaking of Taika Waititi earlier, he confirmed that Korg is coming back to Thor: Love and Thunder.
Of course.
Of
You
course
better.
he is. Yeah.
Korg.
Korg's bitch. Your no shit Sherlock news of the day, everyone.
Thanks, Thor.
Thanks, Thor.
Oh, I got the Wi-Fi going.
This guy called me a dickhead again, Thor.
He's the best.
You guys sound like Chris Lilly in Sunrise High. That's what.
Chris Lilly?
Oh, Korg.
Yeah, thanks.
As Jamae?
Oh, Meek.
Kind of like the student.
Jamal. No.
What the hell is his name?
He had the show for himself.
It was so good.
Did you ever watch Summer Heights High?
Yeah.
Which one?
With Chris Lilly?
I
Summer Heights
already
High?
told you that this is next on your list.
No.
Jonah.
Jonah.
You sound like Jonah. This is your show.
Okay.
Like you should stop what you're doing and go watch Summer Heights High.
Well, if you ask like Alicia Malone or Maude Garrett, they will do the difference in accent between New Zealand and Aussie.
Well, that was
right?
the most fun thing about the Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
It's the best. Like
Well-
Murray. Oh, Murray.
Oh, Jermaine, present?
Yeah.
The best was we went to Carsland. We were in Disneyland this weekend, right? Do you remember the episode where the Prime Minister comes and he's like, oh, yeah, it's a long flight. Anybody know how Cars ends? The flight ended and I didn't get to see the end of Cars. What happens to the red one? What happens to the
Is
red
that from
car?
Flight of the
It's Flight of the Conchords.
The
And he's
first two
Prime
seasons of that show
Minister
are so
of
good.
New Zealand.
So good.
I'm gonna revisit
the
that.
First
That's
season.
really good.
The first season's great.
Oh, it's so good.
That
Well,
show.
you know what happened in that show? It's actually a really cool story. Is that they only had enough songs for the first season, and it took them like 4 years to write all those songs. Like they were a slow moving group, but they were very funny and they were well known across New Zealand. And HBO brought them, and then HBO, because of the success of the first season, because it was, everybody. It was like Kenny Powers, right? When Flight of the Conchords came, it was
blew
like,
up.
"Are you watching Flight of the Conchords?" Like everybody knew about it, right? The second season, they rushed into production, and the Flight of the Conchords was like, guys, we don't have any songs written. Like, you can't do this. And they were really butthurt about having to rush these songs out, and they didn't like the second season result. And that's why you never saw a third season. They went back to New Zealand, lived their lives, and then did like a live show 6 or 8 years later because they weren't. this wasn't a thing. Like they turned their
got
show
pushed-
into
they
a
got
show.
pushed into a show.
Totally.
I can't believe you
interesting.
haven't seen Samurai Tie. That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah, you would love it, dude. It's so up
Fuck
your alley.
you,
It's
miss.
insane. Yeah.
Fuck you.
All right. So where were we? What was the
Korg's
story?
back.
Korg's
Oh,
back.
Korg's back. I mean, that's great.
Yeah,
Mix up did.
but we'll go into the Marvel streaming series next because THR had an article on like how much these things are costing.
The shows?
Yeah, $15 million is the cost for The Mandalorian.
15 an episode.
Per episode.
Yeah.
So tallies up to about $120 million for the series. But then when you get over to the Marvel series, Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and weirdly enough, Hawkeye are $25 million per episode, totaling $500 million. And Hawkeye alone is going to be $200 million for the series. And everybody's like,
Why?
Why?
Talent.
Yeah.
That's why. You look at Mandalorian.
Haley Stanford and
Steinfeld.
Stanford, sure.
Renner.
Mark Marone.
Mark Marone.
But
I'm turning into JT nowadays, man.
But if you think about it, like if you're the agent, anytime your client Olsen plays Scarlet Witch, it's going to go up because she's played it enough, right? Pedro Pascal. I said Pedro Pascal. You threw me off
I put you
yesterday.
in. I got you.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal has never played this character before. This is the first time. He doesn't. His price point, not just because of Game of Thrones, it's not that high. Gina Carano doesn't have a high price point.
Yeah, but when you're saying talent, do you really think they're getting paid more than $1 million an episode?
Oh yeah.
For this show, probably because it's characters that they've profited off of.
So
immensely.
even if it's 1.5 an episode,
even so, but I mean, but it adds up though when you think about how
You're
many
looking at
episodes
10
it is.
million in just talent per episode.
This is why Disney is reportedly buying out the back end of all original productions, essentially meaning that they're offering the creatives and lead cast members more money up front to secure future earnings and
they're not
perpetuity.
getting points.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's
smart. It's smart of them.
Yeah, but anyway, so that makes sense. That's why they're breaking it down that particular way. Yeah. My wife this morning, she's like, "You need to fix the Roku." I'm like, well, "What's wrong with the Roku?" She's like, "The Disney Channel, it's just not working." She's like, "I'm trying to find Doc McStuffins and I'm trying to find Mickey Mouse Club and it's not working." She's like, "And this magical Disney Plus thing just won't show up." Yep. And I go, "Well, because it's not out yet." She goes, "You said it was November 12th." I go, "I did," and then we're in October. And she's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, she goes, "But I did say every time they said it's not available, I do look back at the screen and say fuck you." That's what my wife has been saying to the TV this morning.
Well, look at we're going to talk about it on TV Talk later today, but Apple TV. They've already
Starting to make a
renewed.
move?
Well, they've already renewed a bunch of these series we haven't even seen yet for a second season, like C, the one with Jason Momoa, the Haley Steinfeld, What's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, or James Joyce.
No,
Dr. Joyce Carruthers.
no, it's
Emily
Erickson.
Dr. Ruth Saves the World.
Who'd you say?
Erickson. Dickinson. That's what I meant.
So it's Emily
Everybody's
Dickinson.
doing
They've
it today.
renewed these episodes. The first season of the Momoa series, C, because everybody's blind, is $120 million for the first series.
Yeah, but
It's back to back, $240 million.
what
Apple
do we?
TV's laying
What's
down.
our plan?
What do you mean?
Like me and you, we have to devise a plan for are we watching Apple TV or not? Because I don't know.
Honestly, this
How
might
do we
be,
get them to give it to us?
This might be a reactionary thing for a lot of people. Is Apple TV? Be
Yeah.
Like, oh, C's amazing. All right, I guess I'll buy
But
it.
we're the ones who need to react to it. Do I get it?
C looks ridiculous.
Like bad.
I don't know.
I think the morning show looks good though.
Morning show looks great.
Yeah.
The Emily Dickinson thing, I couldn't care less.
I'm confused on why they're pushing that one so hard because
It's Haley
Haley
Steinfeld.
Is it
Steinfeld's
Amazing
huge,
Stories
but
also on Apple TV?
Yeah.
That's right. You know, speaking of that's Spielberg, but speaking of Spielberg, I saw this. Someone had tweeted this out last night because all this conversation with Scorsese about Marvel movies and how big blockbusters. Well, some big blockbusters aren't considered cinema. Spielberg's been getting this forever, man. This guy, and I don't have his name, but he tweeted it at me.
Derek.
And
John.
Brandon.
We'll say all
Eric.
Derek, John, Brandon, and
Frank.
Steve. Frank. John C. Yeah. So anyway, he tweeted it out at me, and there's this report back in I think it was '87, and they talked about Spielberg hadn't won an Oscar yet, and they said, they're saying he's looked upon as one of the most profitable directors of all time, yet his business isn't taking him serious, right? This is like Spielberg because his movies were, and the movies they were listing were Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Jaws, because they were big blockbusters that the film community said that it's his fault that all the budget has gone up, and then so the guy who's interviewing him is like, is that accurate? He's like, no, not accurate at all. It's like that's not my cross to bear. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make my movies the way I make my movies, and if it's the audience, if they want to see it, that the audience is going to see it, and then that's going to dictate what people want to see, and that's not different to what's happening today.
But you basically in the time before Steven Spielberg, you went from like Dateline, it's the movie pictures to what we now have today.
Yeah, well, Spielberg and Lucas they shaped the blockbuster.
Totally.
I mean, with
100%.
Jaws and Star Wars and all those movies, that changed the way we watch movies in the summertime.
Have you guys
sure.
watched the HBO doc about Spielberg?
Really, no, I wanted to. It's amazing. Yeah,
It's fantastic.
You guys watch
It does hit that whole thing, like Spielberg not getting any respect, and then he makes Schindler's List, and that's the whole change of the whole thing.
I realize that when I hear you guys have these conversations, but did you watch that? And you usually say yes, and you say yes. If you guys ask me, have you checked your emails? I'd say, man, I'm on the same page as you guys.
Right.
I feel like that's all I do is fucking checking emails.
Yeah.
I am very annoyed with that as well.
Checking emails.
Yeah.
That's why my eyes are garbage.
I mean, how many
Garbage.
emails do you get a day?
Too many.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
I kind of wish.
I literally get
part
none.
of me wishes that it was all back to text, because.
I get so many texts.
But then
Even
that-
so,
but then, yeah.
I think it's phone. I mean, I would like to take my phone, throw it up in the sky, and hit it with the bat, but I
Plane.
can't.
No.
But
Because
it's,
you're a businessman.
it's just but it's also because my eyes have definitely taken a hit from it.
I just don't know.
Mine too. 100%.
Like I would imagine, because my dad hates his cell phone, he doesn't take it anywhere, and my dad always used to say his time between leaving the office and getting home was his like alone time, right? Nobody could get to him, nobody whatever. Having a phone, I think, would have legitimately driven my dad insane. Because
see it.
do you know what I mean? Like nobody could get to him. He had a 35-minute drive between the office and home, and that was like I remember getting in my dad's car as a kid. I mean, even now to this day, and there's no radio on, there's no nothing. He likes to drive in silence and like
just to think.
it's just think.
He's a thinker.
Because he has his alone time.
Oh my God, I love the music in the car.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big
I'm a
music-
podcast
On the way
guy.
here, I love podcasts too.
Podcaster too.
But in the morning, if I'm feeling like I'm in a funk,
Music. I'm
Oh
with you.
my
I'm
God,
with you.
yes! If I didn't have that,
Sometimes
Do
you
we?
need it.
Let's hit this main topic here,
Yep.
and then I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
about
what we
it.
can do is, Cody, if you can, we'll turn the phone lines on after the main topic. I will let you guys know that I talked to Jonathan today. Promotions for the Florida event on Saturday. We're doing only for the next 24 hours that we're going to give $5 off of ticket general admission with the code 5Florida. Just the number
number.
5 Florida. I want to make sure that is accurate. Hold on before I give
Not
that out.
FIVE, just the number 5.
Just the number 5 Florida. 5 Florida, and you will get $5 off of general admission if you do it in the next 24 hours. So that's only for you guys for the next 24 hours. So make sure you do that. Let's talk about Rogue One, and then we also will do. Do you have any questions for later?
I
For
do. I'm
giveaway?
writing a couple right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can give away some GAs also.
he
More
did
fun.
not give you permission. to
No,
do
but I'll
that.
do it anyway. All right. All right, Riley.
Yeah.
Well, so what's the
So
big
we
story?
have Tony Gilroy, who, as we know, he came in to do lots of reshoots, do some rewrites on Rogue One, and now he's being brought in to essentially do the same thing. He's coming in to write the pilot, write a few episodes, and direct a few episodes. We don't know how many.
Of what?
Of Cassian Andor series. And Stephen Schiff, who was the showrunner, is still on.
Yeah.
He's still on, but Tony Gilroy is joining him.
This makes sense to
Tony
me.
Gilroy.
Tony Gilroy.
Now, the funny thing is that Tony Gilroy is not a Star Wars fan at all.
How do you know that? He said that in interviews.
He's talked about it, yeah.
Do you want some water?
He just had some. That didn't help at all.
Who was he? Is the showrunner or previous showrunner for what shows?
Stephen
Schiff was the Americans.
The Americans,
Oh, that's
right.
what it was.
But Tony Gilroy...
Which is like Josh and my favorite
yes,
show.
but Tony Gilroy was... Basically, he came in to, some people think, save Rogue One. Because Gareth Edwards was having problems, having issues. Gilroy came in and, depending on what you believe, directed a lot of what you saw in the final product of Rogue One. Who knows? Hearsay. But he definitely had a lot to do with it. So he knows...
What do you believe?
I think he had a lot to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also think that, but because he's had so much to do with it and helped, with the rewrites and everything too, that he knows the characters pretty well. He knows this character pretty well. So if he's going, to work with Schiff and they're going to do, depending on what the narrative is or where they want to go. Ideally, for me, what this series will be is diving, because when Star Wars politics are bad, they're real bad, but when they're good, they're great, and. We've seen
Give an example of what you mean.
So the books themselves, there's a book called Bloodline that really explores the politics of Star Wars with the Empire. Well, it's not the Empire. It's just the New Republic and things that are happening, elections, and very similar to kind of what's happening in the landscape for us in America today. And same thing, the original Star Wars. When you look at the politics of what happened in World War II and things of when it's done well, I think that some people were kind of thrown off by the way it was done and a little boring in the prequels. Which some of the politics of the Emperor maneuvering and positioning himself, I loved. Now there's Trade Federation stuff and all that wasn't that great, but it was what it was. Anyway, what I'd like to see is the Empire at its height. Let's follow some of them. When on the other side, you also follow Cassian and his crew with the rebellion trying to work their way up because we know how it ends for them. So we want to learn about new characters and where they go. That's kind of what I hope for.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's being described as a spy thriller, so I hope they really, to your point, just embrace that, going deep. I want to see that too. I'd love it. Didn't he defect from the Empire over the rebellion?
Well, he was raised, his parents raised him as separatists.
Oh, so that's right, separatists.
And he didn't join the rebellion until later on in his lifetime, but he was raised as separatist, yeah.
So what do you think he's specifically being brought in to do?
Probably just to help with character work because he knows the characters fairly well from his time on Rogue One.
I thought you said he's not really a fan of.
But he knows the characters because he wrote them for the movie. He's not. I don't think he's an overall Star Wars junkie by any means.
Does that make you nervous with his involvement?
No, because I think he did all right. A lot of the times it does, and I've been on record saying that I prefer when somebody really knows the lore and wants it. But this is a different story. This is a different thing that I don't think needs to lock in. As long as you can, if he obviously knows the story because he worked on it for Rogue One. And if he connects it and knows what he wants to do with the Empire and maneuvers this spy thriller, I think it'd be pretty fun. It's different.
Any cause for concern for either of you guys?
No, I like this. I like this idea of him coming in because there's precedent set with him doing this and doing something interesting with Rogue One. Yeah. I hope for this series what Cassian did in the movie where he has to kill one of his own guys to protect the rebellion. I want to see that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be darker.
Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can get a little darker with this series for sure. This is not something that you necessarily would look out for.
I do like Rogue One, though. Rogue One's one of my favorite, if not my favorite Star Wars movie.
I like Rogue One as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my top 3 for sure. And I know a lot of people...
It's in your top 3 Star Wars movies?
Oh, yeah. It might even be number 1. Yeah.
Rogue One might be your favorite Star Wars movie ever.
Yep.
Yeah. So this could be the show for you.
Julie's favorite.
Yeah. And I love Cassian Andor, and I know a lot of people were like a lot of hardcore. Yeah, I mean, I put it on my list, and I got a lot of hate for it, but I don't really care. The Cassian Andor I loved in this movie, and a lot of people I know, like the Star Wars circles, were like, I don't know why we're having a Cassian Andor series. It's really not like that exciting to me. It's the most exciting announcement because I don't know anything about the Mandalorians. And I don't know if I really care as much as I would really like to see because Obi-Wan or Cassian Andor, I'm more excited for.
Okay. Yeah. I think that I'm just very curious of what happens and what they follow because I don't need to see just a prequel of how he met K2SO leading into how he joined the rebellion and then they go on a couple of side missions. That to me is dull. But if you show the side missions coupled with the other side of and learning new characters about the Empire and learning who they're going up against and is Krennic going to be around? That would be great. Ben Mendelsohn, that would be great if you can get Mendelsohn back, or maybe some other characters.
What is he doing right now?
I mean, he's been in a ton of Marvel movies, but I mean, that guy's he's definitely working. Who doesn't snatch up Mendelsohn?
Yeah,
but if you can get him,
Benji Menz. Yeah.
If you
Speaking
can get
of Bloodline, you said Bloodline. Ben Mendelsohn.
That's right. So I think this is a good thing.
In that show?
Have you never seen Bloodline?
Oh wow, you should see Bloodline.
Good.
The first season 1's good.
That's a Netflix show, right?
Yeah.
No.
1's great.
One's great.
But they just
2
make
and 3.
They make a move in 1 that they can never return.
Correct. And I think it should have just been a limited series. Like it was almost, but it got so popular.
Oh no, I've never seen it.
It's great. The first season is so good. We kept that one. I watched all until it ended because we were waiting for it to get back to what it was, and it never did.
Right.
And I like Kyle Chandler a lot.
Yeah.
Cody, you like this story at all?
Kyle Chandler and Ben
Kyle
Mendelsohn.
Chandler, Linda Cardellini, Ben Mendelsohn, Faye Dunaway.
Sissy Spacek.
Sissy Spacek, sorry.
Dunaway?
Sorry,
No,
Sissy
Spacek.
Sissy Spacek.
They
and
brought her.
Sam Shepard, the late great Sam Shepard.
Yeah, that's right. Do you like this story, Cody?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Whatever. Okay. All right. Cody, you can turn the phone lines on.
They're on, Christian.
Thank you so much, Cody. Okay, call on in. We'll do it 2 ways. If you're calling in from Florida, you get a chance to play, or if you can make it to Florida, you get a chance to play. If not, then you can just ask us a question. We got about 15, 20 minutes until our guest, Jamie Kennedy, arrives to talk about his film Trick, which is going to be in theaters and on demand digital on October 18th.
Creepy.
It's creepy.
It looks creepy.
So,
maybe I should step out.
Come on,
He's scared.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know who he's really good friends with, who he tours with a lot? Is Melissa McQueen.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell him a story. The first time I ever met him, and I'll tell.
Don't
I
tell
won't say
us,
it's
yeah.
I've met him before with Melissa, but it was
Yeah.
like right in passing. I mean, it was a quick thing. But
Okay, so thank you so much. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
You got Roland in Atlanta. What's up, Roxy?
Hi, Roland.
Roland, did you win tickets already?
Nah, man. I could go, but I'm not gonna drive all the way down there.
No, all right. Well, thanks for being honest.
I mean, look,
really appreciate it.
How far is that drive?
No, I love you guys. It's like 8 hours.
You could have fucking lied and said he had a flat tire or something.
Yeah.
Hell of a
Work.
guy. Yeah, right. This guy had the shits or something.
Roland, this is a really inappropriate question for a live show, but have you ever been to the Claremont Lounge in Atlanta?
No, that's a classy joint.
Yeah.
And I haven't.
Okay.
It's on the list.
It's on the
Strip club?
list.
All right, Roland, what do you got for us today?
Very interesting strip club.
Two questions.
Yeah.
For Roxy.
This is creepy, Roland. Better up your.
Hey, Roland, you have pants on, right?
It was pertaining to the Matrix. You made me blink out, Christian. But I want you to watch The Thing. Can you watch The Thing? You had CM Punk on. He said watch The Thing. Are you gonna do it?
I am going to watch the thing. I will. I promise.
You're hurting my feelings with that.
I know. I'm sorry.
And Roxy, I love that you love Star Trek. Are you going to do any more content with that?
I don't know because I don't have CBS All Access right now, so that's the issue.
You get CBS to send you a link. I got to tell you something about Roland though. They got to give him credit for it.
Good breather.
Not only
That
good
he pulled
breather,
it together?
It wasn't even that he pulled it together. It was the way that he was setting up his question. Like it looked like, where are you going with this, Roland? And then Roland just asked the nicest question in the world.
Yeah,
Essentially,
I just
what's up?
wanna
He was like this. Hey, Roxy, I got something for you.
Yeah.
What do you think about puppies?
I like Star Trek better than puppies. Well, I'm not I like Star Trek a lot, and like I said, I love the original series, but I am not dad. So it's not like I will get CBS All Access just for this. If they start to be a legitimate contender, then I will pay for it. But otherwise, if they're not going to send it to me, I don't know how I'm going to watch House of Picard, as Josh likes to call
But
it.
you do the Tomorrow Show. Can't you guys get the CBS sent to you?
Possibly. I honestly haven't reached out or looked into it, but I should because we're around the corner.
Yeah. All right, Roland, thank you for the call.
One more thing. If y'all have a layover in Atlanta,
hit the Chick-fil-A.
Let me know. We can get some food. Yeah, we'll get that Chick-fil-A.
Nice.
Thank you,
You
bro.
ended up being such a doll. Very
so nice.
appreciative.
Yeah,
Thanks for not asking to
That's
see
true.
pictures of my feet.
Yeah. It's 8 hours.
I'm sorry for that text 3 years ago. I apologize.
I saved it, screenshotted it.
All right, hey, you're on Collider Live.
It's a
What do
rumor.
we got?
It's a rumor.
Hey, this is Grant from Wesley Chapel.
Hey, what's going on? Florida. Okay, good. So we'll give you a shot to play
Go,
here.
Grant.
Grant, we're going to give you a
Grant.
chance. Now, again, if you don't know the answer to the question that Josh McCougar brings up, you can do Ask a Schmo. Anybody in the room, Roxy, Cody, Riley, McCougar, or myself, to see if we're telling the truth or lying. All right, here you go. You ready, Josh?
All right, Grant.
Okay, real quick, I did win last week, but I have 3 little girls.
Okay.
And so I was hoping to get tickets so that way I could take all 3 of my little girls.
So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you. So how many tickets did you win? You win 2 last time?
I won 2.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's without the 3 little girls.
That's with one of them.
Well, yeah, I can only take one that way. I'm a struggling single dad.
All right, so listen.
needs 2
No,
more.
what I was going to say was I thought it was for 3. I would have given them all 3. But all right, so we'll give you 2 here. We'll give you 2.
Here
All
you
right.
go. All right, Grant.
And also, you're badass. You got this. You got this,
Crush it,
Grant.
dude.
We're rooting for you hard.
Hell yeah. All right. Speaking of dads, it's my dad's birthday today. Why did my dad tell me to sleep in the hallway? One of our famous quotes here on the show.
Wait, why did he ask?
Yeah, why was it?
Or yell at me to sleep
Remember,
in the
you
What
can.
about where?
You can.
I mean, why?
Just why? Just
Why?
you can do why.
Okay.
Ask a schmo, and it can tell you there's a lot of puzzled looks in the room. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask a schmo.
All right, who are you gonna ask?
I'm gonna ask Christian.
Because he put on a chicken suit and was screaming at everybody to wake up because it's time for the chicken.
I'm gonna have to disagree with
Yes,
that.
correct.
I don't remember.
Correct. I mean, it was so
Don't
early.
say, don't
I'm not
say.
saying. Roxy, what is it?
You want me to say?
Yeah, sure.
You were farting too much.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. It was smelly farts at the Grand Canyon. That's where we were when he told me to sleep in the hallway.
That's really good.
Congrats on tickets, Grant.
Thanks. I was thinking it was the fart thing, so
Yeah,
that's
good.
what I thought.
Yeah.
If you ever have time, check out where raspberry and vanilla flavoring comes from. You will find out some interesting things about beavers.
Oh,
interesting.
Wow, what a
fun
strange fact, but also
interesting.
you must be a really cool dad, and I think that's great that you're bringing your
And
three
it's for
girls
all
to the
three girls
showdown.
are coming. That's
Hell
great.
yeah, that's
and
awesome.
maybe you guys will win and be able to come
I
to
know.
Los Angeles, and then you can have me be your manager.
Yeah.
Go,
All right.
Grant.
There it is.
All right, cool. So just hit
That sounds awesome.
Grant. Make sure you hit Riley up to remind him that you won again. All right. So let's get another phone call in here, and again we have about 10 minutes. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
It is Jeremiah Morris from Indiana.
Hey, Jeremiah. So what do you got for us today?
First of all, I wanted to apologize to you for calling in on the Thursday show.
It hasn't happened yet for the people.
Oh, it hasn't aired yet.
It hasn't happened yet.
Yes,
I
it
think
airs-
you're
it
great,
airs tomorrow.
Jeremiah.
You don't need to apologize.
Well,
We're
thank
breaking
you,
balls.
Brett.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
The only reason I want to apologize is because I'm seeing you on Saturday for the Schmodown, and I don't want you to get mad.
It was
Nice.
all good.
don't
It was
tell
fun.
your name.
Yeah,
Say your
it's
name
All
so
fair in
yeah.
Collider and Schmoes.
That's right. No, it was that's what we do. We break balls in the show, and you were part of the show. So, it
So
works.
you're going to the Schmodown. Did you want to win any more tickets, or do you not need any more tickets?
I got a VIP ticket, and
Oh, sweet.
unfortunately, I haven't been able to get anybody that I know into the Schmodown.
Okay, well, it's their
So,
bad. All right.
Yeah, no, it really is.
All right, so what do you got for us today?
I just had a quick question about. I was just thinking about this earlier today. My first job was fast food.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering what your guys' first jobs were, your experience there.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
So my first job, I wasn't even supposed to be working because it was against the law. But I was 13 years old working at a deli in Queens.
Yeah.
And I was carrying sodas and stuff and all the, that type of thing. But my first really paying job was working at a Christmas tree lot, Garden World.
Nice.
That's where I worked.
I
at
like
Garden
that
World.
one.
Yeah, I
Really?
worked at a tailoring shop called the Button Box.
Yeah, we
I
talked
love
about
Oh
that.
yeah,
this.
that's what when I was
That
a
was my
seamstress
first
also.
job.
So my first job, again, like kind of illegal, whatever, is my dad had me washing cars at the dealership,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
which was the worst. And then my first actual paying job, I worked at Honey Baked Ham. I was 14, and you could start working in the state of Pennsylvania. I think at 13, maybe 14.
It's 14.
And I was in the back, and all I had to do was face the ham. So basically, what that meant was the ham would come to me, and I would clean up the face of it and then wrap it in foil.
Yeah.
It was an assembly line of ham.
By the way, if you are in Queens, the
delicious ham.
name of the deli is Constantine's Deli.
It's still
on
there?
48. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It is incredible. It's got some of the best meatball sandwiches you've ever had in your life. Yeah. Roxy.
I was fired from my first job. It's the only time I've been fired from a job.
Nice.
I was working as a receptionist. I was 14. Got a job at Haircuts Limited. It's kind of like Supercuts, big chain. And I was a receptionist.
Oh, nice.
And
I
I
could
was
see that.
super
Fall asleep.
super OCD about the money. And so I took the flat iron. You just straighten your hair, and I was taking heat to their money and straightening it to put it in so that it wasn't crinkly.
Burnt the money.
No, they just saw me and were like.
You can't do that.
I mean, for so many reasons. Number one, we use those products on people's hair,
Right.
and number two, like you're literally taking fire to our money.
Yeah.
No, you're fired.
How old are you?
A for
Sorry.
effort.
I was 14.
A for effort.
I
though.
I was
love
14.
It's such a great
It was-
news story.
And it was brutal because I was
Burning money.
I was so excited. I loved. I've
Burning
never
money.
had a job I didn't like. I loved being there.
Right.
I loved like organizing, talking to the hairdressers, going around, sweeping.
So you're
like,
devastated.
Oh my God! But then I got a better job.
Okay.
That paid
did you
so
burn-
well,
burn
better than
money
I
there?
get paid today.
Oh wow.
Like ridiculous. That's when I started bar backing. Very young.
I've only been fired from 2 jobs. One of them was Collider. The second one.
There it is.
Welcome back.
Yeah. The second one, I was a lifeguard at this pool. It's called Bower Hill Pool in Pittsburgh. And it was rarely was it crowded. Like rarely was it crowded. And I was always like the late afternoon shift from like 2 to 8 or 9 o'clock. There wasn't a soul in the pool, but you still had to sit in the lifeguard chair. What did I do? I went and got a piece of pizza. I fell asleep.
Good for you. See, that's a good
The manager comes down and he's just like, "You're fired." I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
I think I told
so
the story
fired.
before when
Pizza was the problem.
when I got fired from the AMC theaters job. I think I told that before. So I was
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I had
yeah.
worked at a great the movie theater that was pretty much a zoo, and that was so many illegal things happening. In
You
that
were
theater
helping
that-
a thief.
That was Barnaby. That
Oh,
wasn't that.
different-
That was a different. That was something else. This is when I came. I went to St. Petersburg to get a job during the summer on my way to go transfer into Florida State. So I get there and I'm working for. I met Dwight Gooden while I was there.
Oh,
it was
shit,
it was
that's
awesome,
awesome.
right? But what I realized that this movie theater was actually like very legit, and it sucked because it wasn't the lawlessness that I was working at in Queens.
Yeah.
So when I was about to transfer over, I found I got into Florida State and I was leaving. So I didn't need the job anymore.
Yeah.
So my shift was on. I woke up, didn't go. Right? Yeah.
I remember.
But I went
this
in the next day.
Dickhead move.
It was a dickhead move. I went in the next day, and they go, "What are you doing here?" And I go, "Coming to work." And they go, "You didn't even call anybody. You can't just show up and work." And I go, "Yeah, I think that makes sense." Yeah. And I walked out. I go, "Thanks." And they laughed. Yeah. They laughed, and they go, "Good luck at school." And they go, "But you just can't do that." And I was like, "No, you're right. I can't." So that was one of the. That's probably similar to the 2 times.
The crazy part is in the state of California, because you were just talking about bar backing, right? Is the state of California is so on the side of the employee, right? Like if you get fired, you can sue everybody you want for unemployment. Okay. I worked at this bar with all these waitresses, and it's LA, so everybody's an actor and actress trying to do something, right? And I was always very cognizant of okay, if I have an audition, I have to either get it covered or I'm just going to miss the audition. This is a job, this is a paying job, whatever. These girls would just not show up or show up 4 hours late. I'd have to set up and be a waitress and a bartender. They never got fired. They didn't even make a call. They didn't call anybody because in California, if you get fired, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt this person deserved to be fired.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, I deserved it. Okay, so I guess we can do one more call.
I guess I deserved it too.
Yeah, you did.
Whoa.
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
We're not doing any more tickets, right?
Saul. There he is. You can't make it though, can you?
No, I was actually strongly considering it, but I had to go. I had to take a couple of trips before the end of the year. So
I don't even want to ask where.
Yeah, Saul, are you a gangster? CIA, FBI,
Little mixture.
Ginger Mob?
Column A, column B.
The last one.
I didn't understand the question, but was that?
What do you got for us, you lunatic?
Hey, I just wanted to examine something real quick. This is sort of a nuanced thing, but if you were listening to the show earlier, and if you listen to the way Christian did his wife describing the magical Disney Plus, I have to ask, how often do you talk about Disney Plus in your house?
Well, no. All I said was to my wife was that because she was like, I need to find because my kids they watch Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and all these other movies and Pixar movies and everything too. And I said, you're not gonna have to worry about scrambling anymore to find all these freaking things because once Disney Plus comes on the air, you just can fire it up and they'll have all the shows, the Doc McStuffins, all those. We'll have one app. I don't have to worry about all these stupid DVDs and different apps you got to go to. So that's why she just referred to it as this magical Disney hub. Because I told her, I said, don't worry about it. Once it comes out, you'll be fine.
Saul, you're just picturing Christian coming home every single day
Talking
being
about
like,
it.
there's 14 more days left until Disney Plus is coming.
See, for me, the only thing I'm really looking forward to right now if I have to be honest, minus this fact, if it was just me, right? If there was no Mandalorian, I don't know if I get it. Like, I'm curious about all the Marvel series. I want to see them, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. And the original movies are cool, and the Jeff Goldblum series are really cool. But Mandalorian is why I'm getting it for myself. But then couple that with the fact that all the old school movies are on there. Like,
are you gonna watch High School Musical with your kids?
But if my daughter wants to watch it, she can watch it. But I'm not gonna watch it. No, there was enough of that when they showed it at D23. I was out.
What's that?
And especially I don't
Lizzie
like
McGuire?
the premise. I didn't even know what that was until. What's the Hillary? That's a Hillary Duff thing, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that was until she came. I said, apparently Hillary Duff is back. Yeah. I tweeted out. I said, yes, Hillary Duff is back as Lizzie McGuire. # What's Lizzie McGuire?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Crazy.
But Saul, that's all?
Understand.
That's all you got for us today?
Good one.
Perfect.
Cool.
One already?
What?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Oh, what's
Hi.
going on?
Okay, good for you.
Hi.
All right, well, guys, we'll see you next time. All right,
Bye, Saul.
the great
Bye,
Saul.
Saul.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to break. When we get back from the break, we're going to have Jamie Kennedy in studio. He's talking about the film Trick, and that comes out October 18th after the break.
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, if you've been watching us every week, we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Riley here. Let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Riley Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Well, hello there. I'm Cat Knapsack, one of the hosts of Collider Jedi Council, and I'd like to invite you to listen to our show, watch our show. It's on every Thursdays on the Collider Video channel, and it's also available in podcast form if you'd like to listen to our sweet voices on Collider Jedi Council, me, Christian Harloff, and a bevy of guests, I say, talk Star Wars. We celebrate Star Wars. We dig into the Star Wars news. We speculate everything about Star Wars, including your questions. So join us on Collider Jedi Council. You're going to have a great time.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'll be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Riley here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars. It's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Apple Podcasts, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out. And then after Episode 9, you got TV shows. So we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hi, I'm Amy Dallin, one of the hosts of Collider Heroes, and starting right now, you can catch our show Tuesday nights with a new Collider Heroes and a longer Collider Heroes podcast, where Coy and I are gonna talk your ears off. You already know that's coming. So make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe, and find us on the Collider Heroes podcast feed for all of that sweaty goodness.
The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Collider Live. Pretty excited here. This movie, Trick, it's coming out. It's October 18th, and one of the stars of the movie, you know him, comedian. He is Jamie Kennedy. Jamie, what's up, man? How doing?
Are you, bro?
Good to see you.
How are you guys? Thank
What's
you
up,
for having
man?
me.
So, no problem. We'll jump right into this thing. We talked about it off the air here. So you and I first met It was 1999. We met at Luna Park. You remember Luna Park?
Off of in
Robertson.
WeHo.
Yeah, man, in Robertson. It's shut down. That place was fucking crazy.
You were doing comedy.
We were on the same. No, we were on the same bill. We were on the same bill down in. It was when they used to run, and it was like Sam Tripoli and Sarah Silverman would come in there, and we used to do all the. It was back in the day. It was a long time ago.
Wow,
it was crazy. It's like Galifianakis used to come in there,
and
play all the time. That place was because they had that crazy room downstairs and that big room. It was nuts. That place.
Yeah, there was also another place called the Rose.
Where was that?
Tattoo, I believe, on that street.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was like it was a. It was
Are you
a
talking about the
street.
tattoo parlor that's
no,
still there?
No, little cafe.
Oh.
Yeah,
and they used to. That's like one of the few places I had was like an open mic. That was like
it was
cool.
it was crazy that place.
Did Luna Park do like a bunch of open mics or was
no?
it just
That was like the kind of one of the birth of. Would you say alternative comedy?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
kind of how Largo is now. Luna Park was always like the alternative scene.
Anybody would come in the show. I remember we were talking like Brian Posen would be in there. What was the main?
Posehn?
Yeah, but it was Bob Odenkirk. I remember my favorite thing was when Odenkirk used to come in there and do spots, and he would just walk in. I was like, dude, it was great. He's like, I sucked, and he ran out the door.
How was your guys' interaction? So you
It was great. No, he was super cool, and we had a good. Was he a dick? He was a dick.
No,
20 years ago. That's why I'm bringing you in here. You're a real dick. No, man. So let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about Trick.
Whatever you want.
Back in the horse. We'll get into all of it. Yeah, man. So tell me about the movie. How'd you get involved?
This is Patrick, who is he edited all the Screams, and he was kind of he's a writer, director, editor. He wrote Terminator Salvation. He directed My Bloody Valentine 3D. He's done a lot of great things, but he's always been like since the beginning of my career somebody who I've been involved with because of Scream, and
it's just buddies.
Yeah, he it's like there's like two things in this business. There's like you got to dance for your dinner, or there's like people that just go, hey, you want to do this?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm lucky to have some people like that. He's like, hey, you want to do this? And we talked about it, and I was like, boom. And he said, we got Omar. And I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, because you jump back and forth. I mean, you'll do comedies, you do horror. You got a preference too? Because obviously with stand-up, it's comedies, that's in your blood. But as far as movies, because you're a horror guy.
I just think that you do what you want to do, right? And sometimes you have to do where the love is, right? It's like sometimes you don't work for a little while, and it's like you'll turn down jobs because you don't like them, and then you can sit around for a little while and like, do I want to work or not do anything? And other times you'll just keep moving. So this is a good project. It's a good script. I believe it could spawn a new kind of little franchise, possibly.
So speaking of franchises, I was talking. There's always, Scream, obviously one of the most popular horror franchises of all time. When they're talking about doing the reboot of the television show they're doing, right? There's always reboots and talks about it. There's so many different reboots.
There were Scream Queens.
It's on there now. It's on MTV did Scream.
Yeah,
and
I know
think
they did.
VH1 did another version.
Yeah, and I know, but they're always talking about bringing it back. Like, do you think that they should leave Scream alone? Is there any scenario because look what they did with New Nightmare? Is there any chance that you would be able to do something again with Scream? Would you want to do something with Scream? Was that part over?
I would like to if the movies keep going.
Yeah,
I think there's a way to do it that they can bring back some of their favorite characters.
You have an idea?
I do, and we've talked about it because these horror conventions are bigger than ever.
Yeah.
And so when I go, I've talked to different people about it, and I think there's a way to do it. And there's, there could have been a fake out scene, or maybe someone's really not dead,
right?
Because it's so popular now. Like it's even more popular than I think I've ever remembered. It's so revered. I go to these conventions, and the fans are just so incredible, and it's kind of almost not just a horror movie anymore. It's like it's a good movie.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
You said if they brought it back as a movie and you really emphasized movie, does that mean if it was a TV show or some kind of limited series, you would not want to be involved in it?
That's a good question.
I try.
I don't know. It's just like such a Scream is if you span 50 years of movies, Scream is on that radar.
Yeah.
Scream has made a mark in the pop culture lexicon.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do anything. There's things I would do, but I don't know. There are things that are just, it's so good, I don't want to mess with it. You know what I mean?
And you feel like TV might mess with it?
No, it's not the TV so much. It's like, well, they did a version of it for MTV. So it was like a a new version of Scream, but it was a series. And I didn't really see it, and it seemed like it did okay. But it's, the movies is the movies. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know.
Do you keep in touch with any of those guys?
Yeah, I just saw Nev and Matthew Lillard.
He was on the show. He was a fucking character, man.
Great.
Yeah, he's a fun dude. So you talk to them all?
Sometimes David,
So we mentioned before with Chris McGlover was on, obviously for his reasons. He doesn't go to a lot of these reunions, but there are a lot of Scream reunions that you guys kind of go to.
So the world of cons is like bigger than it's ever been. Conventions, so it's like sci-fi, New York Comic Con, and there's horror conventions all around the world.
Yeah,
and Scream is approaching 25 years, and we go, and it's just fans come and we sign stuff. It's incredible.
When you first got Scream, did you know it was going to be as crazy as it was?
No. I remember reading it on the treadmill of 24-hour fitness in Hollywood, and I was like, did 38 minutes. And I was almost done the script.
Jeez.
And that's hard to do.
Yeah.
And I never got a script that had really no direction.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just dialogue. And that's a good script because it's usually like Patrick walks in the room, gently puts down a coffee cup, remorsing his mother's death. It's like so much stuff.
Very true.
And this was just like, bam, phone call, Sydney, hello.
Right.
So it was awesome.
So you were caught by the script right away. So once
I was caught by the audition. I'm like, I got an audition for a movie. This is holy crap.
Right,
And then the script was so good. Like I was lucky to get the script, and then I read it, and I was like, I still wasn't even off book. Like today, when they do something, you have to be off book. You have to have it memorized.
Yeah.
And it's like that was the time where you could kind of read the script. You could look at my audition on YouTube, and you like look down and you improvise, and people are like, "Oh, I like the feeling." Now it's like you skipped an "and." I don't know if you're right for this part.
It worked. Rock?
Have you, because going back, you said that you're getting offers that you're turning down, going back to the dancing for your dinner thing. Is there anything that you've turned down that you regretted afterwards because maybe you didn't see it in the script, but then it came out and it was a masterpiece of some sort?
Well, as an actor, you want to try to do everything, that you like, and so you get hot and you get cold at different times. So in the beginning of my career, I went in for 2 movies and I got both. And one was called As Good as It Gets, and another was Boogie Nights.
Wow.
And so Boogie Nights was a great character. It was the role of the guy in the limo who has sex with Heather Graham and Burt Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
The frat guy.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you actually booked it.
Yes. And then I couldn't do it because of the dates of the other movie. So my agent's like, you got to make a choice. And the other movie was 3 months and Boogie Nights was 2 days. And I knew Boogie Nights was going to be like this incredible thing. And I was like, oh, God, please make it work. Please make it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted it As Good as It Gets also is an incredible thing.
Right,
It was won Oscars and all this. And I was like, so I had to pick, and that was very hard.
But that's okay though. I mean, you still.
It was
you
amazing
still all right.
between gold and platinum.
Right,
I mean, but I didn't turn it really down. I just couldn't do it. So there's some times where scheduling things.
Yeah.
Looking back, do you think you made the right decision?
Well, I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it either would have affected me any differently.
Yeah.
So it was, but it was just nice to say you're in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
It's just, but it's good to still say what I'm in.
Yeah. Well, the good thing though too, I mean, because you get a lot of people that you're sitting here, like you said, actor wants to work, doesn't want to be sitting around. But the good thing for you is because you are a comedian, you do go on the road, you do a lot of shows. Does that help too? Because again, as performers, it'll drive you fucking crazy if you're just sitting around not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason I started comedy was because I can't stop my brain. You know what I mean? So it's like you go, you audition, and then you're like, okay, let's wait.
Right.
What do you think? Can I have a cracker? Oh, thank you. Are you blessing me with a job? It's like, no. And now we're such a DIY culture where you can create your own success. So I've always been doing comedy, but yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate in between movies or TV. I'm always on the road. So
Yeah.
I like to do it.
What do you do in the downtime? Besides, obviously, if you're waiting for a show and you're going on the road, what's the downtime?
I mean, it's not a lot. I really kind of love what I do. Like, this is like my life. Like, I love being on sets. I love performing on stage. I love doing press. I love being in the mix of it. It's just like that is kind of my social life. You know what I mean? And the people that I have in my life are kind of all mixed within it. And I mean, like a massage or like when I travel to places already because of my job. So I don't really have to. I'll stay a couple extra days, but
that's what I mean. So you'll explore the places that you're
play
at.
a little golf or bowl.
Hey, you're a player.
But not that good. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're always hustling. Don't you find that?
Absolutely.
We're just like
Yeah.
What's the next thing?
That's why I asked, because like when I'm sitting around and I'm not doing something, I lose my mind. I got to try to figure out something to do. And whether it's I had 2 kids.
Do you have a fam?
I
you
got
have
2 kids. I got 2 kids. So that's kind of like my downtime.
Wow.
Yeah. I know.
Why are you looking at him like that?
Because that's a lot.
Yeah, it's long gone are the days of Luna Park.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's the truth.
To have
I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know kids.
It seems like it's a lot.
It's true. You got kids?
He has 2 kids. That's a lot of responsibility.
So you don't have kids?
No, not yet.
You never wanted them?
I was thinking about this last night. Actually, as you said that.
Yeah.
Listen, to be a good parent, in my opinion, I'm not one.
Yeah.
I feel that you probably have to devote your life to your kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I am so into my own life that it's hard for me to give over and maybe have a kid.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I won't, and I'm a dude, so I can go a little older in life. But I just feel like I do love my ability to get up and go.
I get it. I mean, that was
You know
that was my hesitancy. But the thing is, if you have it in there, you don't know until it happens.
Yes.
and that's that's the tricky part about it. But
the one thing I hear though is that unconditional love. It's
crazy.
You look in the eyes, you see this beautiful creature,
Yeah.
and it's like that is going to be my friend for life.
it is. Well, it literally is not.
You hope so.
Yeah. Well, that's what you hope. It's true. You don't want an asshole.
So you don't feel that pressure that because you said you're a man, you can wait longer. You don't feel any kind of time restriction on that.
No.
Yeah.
So you would have a kid any time in your life, any age.
I don't know if I want to have a kid, but I'm not scared to. Like
Right.
if I was 60, I could have a kid, sure.
When
It's
you
all about just taking care of it and loving it, right?
I have no idea.
The questions. No,
certainly not.
We're all better. We're all better.
I have no idea.
We've talked about she would lose.
I don't understand them.
I would let you watch my kid on the road before having her at my house watch my kids.
Yeah, I'm good with when they turn like teenagers and shit. But
Yeah.
I mean, as like babies, I
She
don't
didn't know
get
what
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to jump back.
It seemed like a lot of
Yeah,
responsibility.
it's a lot.
It's a lot of responsibility. But let's jump back to Trick here, too, because I want to hear about working with Omar Epps, who's actually, we didn't get a chance to see him, but he's here. He's here also.
I can't believe that.
I know. How was it working with Omar? Was it, you guys know each other beforehand?
I don't know him that well.
Okay.
No, we were in Scream 2 at different scenes.
Yeah.
But, I've seen him around throughout the years. He's great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great actor. He's totally knows exactly what he's doing. I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah.
So he's awesome.
You said that they had Omar Epps. Is that part of the reason why you came onto this project?
Part of it, yeah. Patrick, I like the concept. I like Omar. And then they got other actors I like, Tom Atkins. So I was like, it was a good mix.
Do you get scared during scary movies? You yourself, when you go to a because I
As an
first of
audience
all,
member?
I know this is gonna whatever, but I've never seen Scream and I never will because I don't like horror.
What?
movies.
Dude,
And,
yeah.
I'm so afraid.
Dude, we took him to Halloween Horror Nights. He
never.
almost had a
I'm
heart
sorry.
attack.
I mean, I've heard it's a
How
legend. but
old are you?
37. I'm scared
You're
to death.
scared.
No way.
Cody,
Cody, yeah.
Cody,
absolutely.
play a soundbite of Makuga screaming for real.
This is me.
You'll hear it in a second, but this is. That's him. That's,
No, it's not.
swear.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yes.
We took him.
Yeah.
We took him.
No.
There was someone with a chainsaw chasing him around. He hugged a random
Dude,
stranger.
it's air.
Carried him.
No, it's not. It's for real. It's 'cause they're gonna come get you, man. They're gonna come to your house and they're gonna get you.
Wow.
Yeah, he won't do it. I told him. I said, "Scream's one of the best of all time." He goes,
You should watch Scream because it's a digestible horror.
Yeah, it really
it's-
is.
There's funniness in it.
So
dude.
from what I've heard, and obviously like the ghost Scream face guy is pretty legendary. What I remember most from Scream was, do you remember those Bud Ice commercials with the penguin? It was like doobie doobie doo, and it was like he currently calling from in the house. I'm just a penguin for a
Yes.
Bud Ice commercial. That's as close as I've come to Scream
Oh,
ever,
nice.
because I was like, yeah, you call and the call is coming from inside the house. I've seen the trailers. I know what I'm getting myself into. I just know my mentality. I'd rather watch Malibu's Most Wanted, which shaped
"No, there you go."
my
Wow.
youth And I mean, dude, Malibu's Most Wanted might be the most underrated comedy all time. USB Rad is genius. We quoted Malibu's Most Wanted in college every single day.
Really?
Yes, I love that effing movie.
Thank you. Where did you go to college?
Penn State.
Oh,
in Pennsylvania.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so the first time I came out to California, and I went to Malibu. I was like, dude, where's B-Rad? Like, it's the exact same thing.
How did that movie come about, by the way?
Yeah.
It was like one of my characters I was doing in stand-up.
Yeah.
And then I started doing the Jamie Kennedy experiment.
Yep.
And then I always was working with Nick Swartzen, and we were like writing this idea, and he's like, "Yo, I got an idea for your movie," and then he really shaped it, along with me, and I was boom, and then the show got hot, and then we pitched it to Warner Brothers, and then that's how it
was
happened.
it.
Yeah.
Good. Do you have so whether it's Scream or Malibu's Most Wanted or any movie, do you have like a favorite experience that you like just because it's set? Because every set is like a summer camp, right? It's like which is the one that kind of stands out the most? That you just remember having a great time. Could be a good movie, could be a shitty movie, whatever it was. Like just having a good time.
A good time was I did a movie called Boiler Room.
Oh yeah,
and that was pre Wolf of Wall Street. So that the director writer Ben Younger, I think worked in one of Jordan Belfort's rooms.
Oh really?
So he was the He wrote it as a fictional account of what it was.
Okay.
And then Wolf was the real account. That was just incredible because that was like a time where, you go from movie to movie and you're starting to know all these other young actors and you're all boys. And we were in New York and we were staying at the Gramercy Hotel and it was the late 90s and we were there for 2 months.
Shit was going down.
And it was just, we had room service and it was like we were playing a debaucherous movie and we were kind of living a debaucherous experience and we're all young. So it was just everybody. I mean, we were going to clubs every night. It was
Who's the biggest wild
awesome.
man on the set? No, it's got to be Affleck.
No, he wasn't. He came in for a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't really know. I don't know him, but we had a crew. It was me and Scotty and Nicky Cat and it was just and Vin would come sometimes and it was just fun.
Yeah.
Like New York running things.
That's awesome.
When the Jamie Kennedy experiments kind of exploded on TV, again, another situation where all my buddies were like, dude, this show is absurd. Did you know you had what you had on your hands? Like, what were the first ratings, that kind of stuff? Because when you launch a show, it's your name on the show.
Yeah.
What was like that response? I mean, it had to be kind of crazy. Because you kind of went from like a household name to like a superstar overnight with that show.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, at least in my mind.
Do more.
He likes you a lot.
I'm a big effing fan, man.
You know what, dude? It was like TV is like you develop. Like we had 3 sets of producers, and I thought it was never going to happen. And then the last producers, Fax and Adam, came in with an amazing take, and the president of the network was like cool young dude, Jordan. And we all just kind of hung out. And he's like, boom, can you do this as a pilot? And we did. And then he was like, I like that. And he was like, all right, I'll give you 7 episodes. And, we kind of had the freedom to do what we wanted. So when you have that kind of, people don't know what it is, that's how it became. Because we just kind of did what we want. But the pressure was less.
Yeah.
And then people really liked it. So it kind of came out of left field.
Yeah.
You think people took more risks back then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 1,000%. The way it is now is beyond fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, go on.
It's beyond fucking annoying. Have you ever seen more outlets for content?
No.
Right. And have you ever seen more people going, well, I think...
Maybe. Yes. No.
You're 100%
It's
right, yeah.
back in the day.
Okay, tell me.
You could go to the Polo Lounge. You could meet the president of the network and the vice president of the network. You could pitch him an idea. You could talk about it on a napkin. You could have a coffee, and they go, all right, if you can write this up in a treatment, you talk about this, we'll figure out development money. Bam.
Right.
Now it's like, I have something for YouTube Red Argentina, and we need to know where your funding is going from. And it's like so specific and overthought. It's like
no one's taking risks.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I will go crazy in this booth right now if we go down that rabbit hole. You know why? Because
Go crazy,
here's what it is.
Yeah.
and I want your people to know this, why Hollywood is fucked up in some ways, because it's great, is you have risk takers pitching to the risk averse.
Right.
I have nothing. I came from nothing. All I do is just try. And you have people going, I don't want to lose. I'm making $200,000 a year. I have a private school I need to pay for my kid. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
So when you have people that are taking chances and other people that don't want to lose, it's a fucking...
Right.
And that's annoying.
But isn't that finding kind of the match? You got to find the magician. Because like you see, even when you had your show for a while, when
61 episodes.
Yeah, but you found the guy who you collabed with. That's not always easy for whatever era you're in.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
Also, don't you kind of get it? Like because you have to be partially business minded in this industry, right? So
Yes.
if they're more risk adverse, I know you're frustrated by that, but do you also get it, or do you think that it's a dumb decision?
What does that? What do you mean? Do I get it?
Do you get why they're doing that? Do you understand why business-wise it might make sense for them to understand where the funding is coming from, or how this is going to make back the money that they're putting into it?
But it's not. There's no rhyme. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like what times?
Okay, social influencers. Right? Yeah. Let's have this person with this amount of social influence, and this is going to drive these numbers.
Right.
It's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. Just because you have 500,000 followers doesn't mean those people are going to show up at the theater or download it. There's a chance.
You're
just saying there's no correlation, and that's why it's stupid, because it doesn't make any sense why they're making these business decisions.
I'm saying if you're going for a guest spot on Verizon's Go 90,
right,
and it's living in the cloud, and you have to click 10 things to get to it, and you have somebody that's a known entity, what are you going to audition them for? Like, just give them, like, people overthink, everybody thinks they're making something that's bigger than it is. Well, there are a few big things, like the Avengers and those type of things, but there's a lot of things that are smaller.
Yeah, so you think there should be more straight offers for bigger people?
Not just offers, but just not overthinking it. There's a lot of overthinking it. Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Right?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that Chappelle's special hit as hard as it did, because you can't look at that and say that wasn't risks. I mean...
Dude, I wrote this to tell me if this makes sense. Yeah. Chappelle not only bit the hand that fed him, he gnawed it off and spit in its face.
Right.
I mean, it's...
And made money off of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
because, I mean, people could say he made a ton of money and all this stuff, and what does he have to risk? You're right. He really went after everything you're not supposed to go after.
Right.
And he did not hold back, and that's incredible. And so he could lose his future, but he only made it stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was fearless. Yeah, it was fearless.
I just loved it.
Yeah.
And we talk about it all the time, like the social justice warriors, the stage in a comedy club being a very safe space for comedians to really try whatever you can try. Obviously, people taking videos on their cell phones is a problem and that kind of stuff, and a lot of comedy clubs are clamping down on that.
Yes.
But like somebody like Chappelle that came and really took do you think that comedy is really taking a hit? Because like Todd Phillips even said, it's so hard to direct a comedy now. We're trying to be so safe all the time that we are literally losing the laughs.
Woke society.
Yes.
Yes. You know what I do? I do this woke. You know what woke people should do? Take an Ambien.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I feel like, I said it's not good for me to do this, but we might as well, see what happens. Cool. If you were to go back in my history and look at characters I played, I'm going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm going to be in trouble. So it's like, no, comedy is actually stronger than it's ever been. I think it's almost bigger. I've never seen more comics. I've never seen more successful comics. I've never seen more bigger comics representing all different types of people, like all different sexualities and races. Everybody is in the game, and there's success. I think almost every representative has a success. I might be wrong, but I think that's true. And I think that comedy is being pushed back, but I also think it's also being expressed in a great way. So, yes, there is a war, but it's a good time.
Yeah.
Well said.
No, I'm with you.
You look at the Comedy Store was my home, and you look at the way that, and I got past there in 2002. Club is very different back from 2002 to today.
Oh, bro, I was there last night. It's beyond sold out.
It's crazy.
It's incredible.
It's crazy now.
Yeah.
What do you do about the fact, because you just said if somebody goes back, you're going to be in trouble. What do you do about that? Do you try to get ahead of it like some people have? And some people just come out and say like, okay, I did blackface back in the day and I just want everybody to know that before somebody finds it. Or some people come out and say, this was my tweet. Or do you just wait? Like how do you deal with that?
It's a great question. Here's what it is. It depends on what it is. You have to be able to defend your position. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I will say this right now. I shouldn't say this, but you can look at on the Jamie Cannon Experiment. I played black characters. Okay. Yeah. And they were characters. They were makeup and prosthetics and tons of. It was a character. It was acting, and it was on national television. So a lot of people liked it. You know, black and white. So
what do you think looking back at that though? Like if they were asking you to make a statement about it, what do you do?
I would say I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I would say that's why I love acting, and I would not be offended. Again, it's just not for me to say because I am the epitome of white male Hawaiian shirt privilege. I mean, look at me. I can't complain about anything. So I've had the first entree into anything in the world, right? What I am, and now that's what everybody's pushing back against, which they should. But I would defend my position to the ability to act. I think there has to be a conversation that says what's acting, what's racism, what is it. I mean, Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
A movie with Scarlett Johansson was canceled because they said Scarlett Johansson could not play a trans character. Okay. First of all, I want to educate people. Scarlett Johansson is one of the biggest stars in the world, maybe top 10 of any gender, right?
Yeah.
In order to make a movie, you have to have a box office star. She's the star. And then you have this small quadrant that really had a beautiful personal story that she wanted to tell. And because she was bullied, it's now dead. So now that story is out because you didn't let her tell it. What's wrong with her playing? She's acting.
What do you say back to people though who would say that there aren't any major trans stars because they haven't been given the opportunity, and that's why you can't cast a trans star in that role because she's bigger, because she's booking roles like that?
I would say you're right. There needs to be more representation. But in the meanwhile, let's make your stories. And if that person wants to make that movie and take that risk with an unknown trans star, then they should. But if it's her find, her baby, her production, why do you want to stop it?
Right.
You know, but I agree with you. There should be. But to say that we can... So am I just a white dude in my 40s? Is that all I'm going to be able to play? Right. Can I ever play women? Can I ever play a monster? What happens to all the people when I auditioned yesterday for a chicken? For an animated show. Should I have gone to a real chicken? I mean, I'm serious. I play beach balls.
What do you...
Talking beach balls.
What do you think?
There's beach balls out of work?
What do you think the answer should be, though? So you think you should be able
to... The answer is common sense.
Yes, it is.
It's common
He's right.
goddamn sense. Do you agree? Are you taking a position? Because I feel like you're the person who's like the sky is sunny. Well, I see a cloud. I don't know. Are you doing that, or are you actually feeling this?
No, I'm curious. Your thoughts. Honestly, I'm not saying anything about me. I'm just curious how you feel.
It's not for me to say because, like, again, I am the most privileged. Do you understand? I have been in the history of the world the most privileged, so it's not for me to comment on. But I believe that everyone should have a shot, but I believe that we have to have common sense, and I believe a lot of people don't realize that. Like last night, did you watch that debate?
Yeah.
Did anybody speak to you? I'm really going off track.
No.
Did you feel that anybody was fucking real?
No.
Where was the person with humor? Where was the person with vulnerability?
There hasn't been in forever.
They're dorks.
Yeah.
They're such dorks. Please put this out there. They're not real. They don't talk like us.
Right.
They're like, well, dude, automation. Are you out of your fucking mind?
That's why
they are going to take jobs.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They're fucking lying to the American
Don't trust
public.
the robots, man. Never.
No, but robots are coming, and people don't think that. You know what they should have said? Listen, a lot of people are going to lose their job if it's losable. And here's what you got to do. You got to figure out how to restructure your finances so you can survive.
Right.
Because that's coming. No one said that. Yeah. It's my opinion.
It's true. And
I went down the rabbit hole.
What this means is that you got to come on for an hour next time. That's what it means.
Is it over?
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah, we need you for another hour. But the movie is Trick.
We didn't even talk about
We
it.
talked about it a little bit.
Well,
but
the trailer looked creepy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was
this movie
creepy.
looks scary. I'm excited about it, especially if you're saying you feel like this could be the next Scream franchise.
Not
big
just-
blow up.
not
No, he's a
Scream,
franchise.
but-
He's a franchise.
No, I'm saying
But-
the next.
I think it could have a world. Yes.
Yes, and look, we're happy to have you in here. You got to come back for sure. Just
I would
to shoot
love
the
it.
shit, man. You should. October 18th. It's in theaters and demand. Jamie Kennedy, please, and you're on Twitter and you're doing
Yeah,
the
at
whole
Jamie
thing.
Kennedy,
Yeah.
the Jamie Kennedy on Instagram, all that. Yeah.
Follow Jamie
All
Kennedy.
yes.
Dude, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being so open. And
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. All right, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Once again, look, this weekend we are in Orlando, so get the tickets, theschmodownlive.com. Come and check us out. And remember, there is the ticket for 5 Florida. You have $5 off the tickets, but it's only for 24 hours. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
John Cena.